The AFL Premiership Season 2003, brought to you by Carlton, brewed since 1864, and our telecast sponsors Carlton Draft, draft beer at its best. Ford New Falcon, can't get enough of this. Discount City Carpet Superstores. Truscott Hi-Fi, best advice, low price. Booze Brothers. Sky City Adelaide, the place to see footy on the big screen. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. RAA Insurance and Harvey Norman.
Takes off, he kicks. The handball came out to Davis off the ground. He runs to 45.
There's plenty of history and feeling between these two sides as the Kangaroos venture into Wayne's new kingdom for the very first time. But the Crows have got bigger issues to face. Their tenuous grip on a top two finish hinges on a win this afternoon. And what better way for the boys from Arden Street to celebrate catching up with an old mate than by sending his side crashing potentially as low as 6th by the end of the weekend. It's high stakes for the Crows as Adelaide hosts the Roos on Saturday afternoon football. And what a wintry Saturday afternoon it is. It is absolutely thumping down at Amy Stadium as the Kangaroos make their way out onto the ground, sitting in 11th position. 9 wins, 10 losses and a draw in season 2003. Lost 4 of their last 5. A couple of very disappointing losses for them have seen them out of the finals race, but this team is still well and truly right in the heat of it. The Adelaide Crows sitting in second spot. 13 wins and 7 losses, won 7 of their last 9, but it all came crashing to a halt last week against the Magpies. A huge afternoon for them this afternoon, as I say, sitting in second, but Chris McDermott could finish as low as 8th with a fortnight of footy left to go, and with Port Adelaide in round 22, their assignment, what a massive game this will be this afternoon as we welcome you to Amy Stadium.
Really big game for them. I mean, they were very disappointing last week against Collingwood, had a lot of excuses, but with Stevens and Welsh back in today, no excuses, must-win game for them.
One late change for the Adelaide Crows. Tyson Edwards out, some tightness in his quad this morning. He's been replaced by James Begley. Troy Gray is downstairs on a very wet Amy Stadium surface with Adelaide coach Gary Ayres.
Gary, plenty of rain already today and a lot more now. It's absolutely belting down. It must be a late change to the original game plan.
Oh, well, look, we planned for this anyway during the week, Troy. We said, look, these are the conditions that we're going to obviously encounter, so it's going to be who adjusts, I think, early and plays probably percentage footy because, as you said, this could set in for the rest of the afternoon.
And Walsh and Stevens return to the lineup. Great to have a forward line with Carey and also Perry. Great, all together for the first time this season. Yeah, we've got some options there. Whether they'll all play up there, though, that'll all be revealed in about another 10 minutes. And very important, you can hear the crowd getting right behind you, but a win today and then the big showdown, of course, next week could put you in a top 2 spot and perhaps a couple of home finals. Well, that's true, and that's what we're aiming for. So if we win today, well, that'll keep us in second spot, and then obviously we'll look to what's around the corner, mate. But today's pretty important. All right, well, for all the best. We'll get you out of this rain. Good luck. Good on you, mate. Thanks.
Such an amazing season of football 2003, just so level, one game between 2nd and 8th. Things don't go Adelaide's way this weekend. They could find themselves as low as 6th.
Yeah, they need to be at their best. I mean, their percentage is very good, which will help, but they need wins. Their destiny is in their own hands.
Kangaroos, we mentioned over the last couple of weeks, the 2 losses that really hurt them, St Kilda and Fremantle, both by narrow margins, have seen them bow out of the finals race.
Yeah, a couple of close losses has really hurt them, and they really need to perform well today. Losing Stevens and Sinclair is not going to help them at all, but they need to finish the season off on a good note. Well,
5 changes to both sides this week, some enforced by suspension, some players returning from injury. We mentioned Mark Stevens and Scott Welsh, not exactly the perfect day for them to be coming back into the lineup.
No, not at all, and don't expect to see Mark Stevens play a role in defence as well. I don't think you can fit them all in the forward line. Carey, Perry, Stevens, Welsh. You know, they've got an embarrassment of riches. I'd expect him to play some of the game in the back half, but it's a formidable forward line with those 3 lining up there. North Melbourne certainly will have the job on their hands.
And a couple of former Kangaroos in Stevens and Welsh returning from injury to play their old side this afternoon. Across half forward, Burton, Carey and Bode. Without Jess Sinclair off half back, they need to find a new architect.
Yeah, that's going to go to King. He's got to be the architect. Let's watch for Wayne Carey. Last week did not go to ground once for the whole game. Very careful of his knee. Let's see if that's any different today.
Adam Simpson and Brent Harvey added pressure on them in the absence of Anthony Stevens.
Yeah, they've got to get plenty of the footy and more importantly use it well. Expect Robert Shirley to get the job on Simpson. He's been a pretty good player for the Crows this year, Shirley. He's got a big job on Simpson.
Across half forward for the Kangaroos, Drew Petrie's been a massive improver.
Yeah, he certainly has. Got to love the way he goes about his foot. He crashes in hard, takes a good mark. Tough conditions today. Corey Jones, another important player for the Kangaroos, can kick a goal, and he'll need to kick 3 or 4 today.
And a whisper that Mark Stevens might end up playing back this afternoon. Big day for Severio Rocker. A couple of weeks in the VFL. Kicked 5 last week, but his future is on the line.
Well and truly under the pump. Big Sav. Got Glenn Archer next to him and Daniel Motlop, who's a real excitement machine up there. So they've got some potential to kick some goals, but they'll need to be on song. But there's a formidable lineup. I mean, Big Lands, McLeod, Stengine, not too many better than that in the competition.
Ben Robbins may get the start on Andrew McLeod, the tagging job there.
Yeah, McLeod, very good wet weather footballer though, so again, a big job for Robbins.
The benches, Clark, Burns, Bickley and Begley, and for the Kangaroos, Harris, Michael Stevens, brother of Anthony, Shane Clayton and David Hale into his first game since round 6. And there it is, the dream lineup, the forward 6 with Stevens and Walsh returning. And then you throw in the likes of Burton, Rashudo and Laddams. They've got a pretty potent forward line coming towards September.
The goal-kicking potential is enormous. They'll be able to rotate them. Gary Ezra's got the luxury of rotating them on and off the bench. And as we've said, the conditions aren't going to really suit Wayne Carey. Looked proppy even again today, running out in the ground. But it's important for him just to be there. But as you said, with the embarrassment of Richards up forward, expect them to kick a match-winning target today.
Ronnie Burns, another man with some September experience, has shown glimpses in 2003, kicked 21 goals, but he's the sort of player that when the big games come around, they can go to.
No doubt, a real pinch hitter off the bench. Been surprised the way he's been used, especially over the last 5 or 6 weeks. Spent a lot of time on the bench, but his time on the ground has been pretty good and can kick a goal.
It's going to be a big day for the Crummers. Graham Johncock may also play forward. Adelaide have kicked more snap goals than anyone else in the competition, and the Kangaroos are the second worst defending against them, so that might be the area where Adelaide can get on top today.
You love your stats, and that's a pretty ordinary one. Graham Johncock, as you said, been a great player for the Crows. Up forward, attacks the ball really hard and can play that role in defence as well.
Well, the Roos have got a great record here at Amy Stadium, won 7 of their last 9, but Adelaide, 3 of their last 4 against the Kangaroos they have won, including the big game in round 6 at the Telstra Dome.
Break and enter is fast becoming an intriguing case with one very quirky clue.
Do you believe in tooth fairies? Roots still attached and fresh blood.
Monday on White Collar.
A van matching yours was seen leaving the house.
Plenty of vans like mine around.
It's a murder mystery with bite.
The tooth that was found at the scene is from a child about 12 years of age.
To solve this crime, they must find the mouth that fits.
What possible evidence could you have that my son is involved?
I was just wondering if you could show me your top tooth.
All new award-winning White Collar Blue, 9:30 Monday.
Capture your world the digital way with a digital camera from Harvey Norman. The 3.2 megapixel new 300 features 3 times optical zoom and a sleek weatherproof case. Buy now for $749.95 and receive a bonus Adobe Photoshop Elements 2 valued at $179. That's right, a 3.2 megapixel Olympus camera with bonus software, all for $749.95. Or save $100 on the 4 megapixel new 400 for only $899.95. Includes the Adobe bonus. Get snapping now and save with Harvey Norman, your digital camera specialist.
Shopping for timber flooring? Discount City Carpets presents the new release of Kendall laminated timber flooring at a very special low introductory price of $29.95 a square metre. Kendall timber flooring has got everything the others haven't. Scratch resistant, stain resistant, impact resistant, and stands up to wear and tear. Pass the test? Don't miss out on this great introductory offer, $29.95 a square metre. That's a $20 a square metre saving. Discount City Carpets, Superstores and Super Warehouse.
There's the toss of the coin. Kangaroos have won it, and they will go to the right of screen in the opening term. Very difficult conditions indeed. As I welcome our co-caller this afternoon. Good afternoon, Mark Aston.
Hey, Jason. Full house. Plenty to play for as far as Adelaide is concerned. Looking forward to it.
Let's head boundary side. Here's Troy Gray.
Tough conditions indeed. The rain has held off a little bit, but don't expect that to last all day. They are expecting thunderstorms in the second half. That'll suit the Kangaroos. They play a tough, uncompromising brand of football, and if the footy stays on the ground, it won't be skillful, it won't be pretty, but I think it'll be a lot closer, this contest, than most people expected.
The weather conditions, Chris, will change the complexion of this contest. The Roos do love a scrap.
Yeah, they certainly do. Plenty of footy on the deck, but Andrew McLeod and Mark Rashudo probably the two of the best wet weather footballers in the competition, so it will certainly help Adelaide. Mark Stevens, as was suggested, has gone back, and Lee Colbert reacquaints himself with Wayne Carey. Mark Stevens got the job on Severio Rocker. As we get set for this round 21 clash, huge game for the Crows, sitting in second spot with Port Adelaide to come next week. Umpire throws it up to begin proceedings. Porter. Big fist towards centre-half forward for the Kangaroos. Smart will get the first effective disposal. No, he won't. He's taken down by Brown. Rashudo fires out a handball to Burton. He's got some men in some space at centre-half back. McLeod. Robbins to beat. Keeps the ball in front of him. It's going to be on the deck for much of the afternoon, you'd expect. Robbins, handball smothered by McLeod. Comes back to Tawney. Tumbles it towards half forward. Carey on the half volley. Colbert takes him down. Brilliant tackle. Held it a long time. Perry's got it now from 55. Goes to the goal square. Laddams and Makepeace. It's a goal. Great start to the Crows. Ian Perry. Quick movement into the forward line. Thought Lee Colbert was a little bit stiff there, Chris. He held Wayne Carey an awful long time without Wayne getting rid of it. Certainly had Wayne Carey for ages in the tackle. Maybe didn't retard him, but certainly had hold of the jumper long enough for that to be called holding the ball. Significantly, Carey goes to ground early in this game. And Ian Perry's just been a real revelation for the Crows this year. Had a little flat spot mid-season, but his goal kicking has improved so much. There's a fantastic kick and a great start for the Crows.
The Adelaide Crows have been great starters, won their last 10 first quarters. They're the best starting team in the AFL. The Kangaroos, well, they're equal worst, so this first term will be vital.
What a start for Adelaide, what a start for Perry. Ball bounced in the middle again. Smart, tackled, brought to the ground. Spillage important here. Tawney, high kick, and very high and too wide, out of bounds on the full. Rawlings to take the free kick. Full house at Amy Stadium. And such an important game for Adelaide as Rawlings goes long toward left half. Well, there's a strong grab up in front taken by Motlop. Eventually, though, Adelaide come away with it. And Burton's got the footy. Burton kicks it downfield. Carey marks. Diving. About 85 from goal. Short passes to Biglan's. Porter stands the mark. Biglan's 60 from goal. Biglan's long kick. That's a good leg. That's a massive leg. Touched. Right on the line. Massive kick from Biglan's, just coming up short.
Brett Biglan certainly give the ball a roost. The two significant tagging responsibilities for Adelaide. Robert Shirley's got the job on Brent Harvey. Tyson Stengline on Daniel Wells is an interesting one, showing young fella great respect.
Well, what a start for the Adelaide Crows. Gone 2 3/4 minutes. Possessions 11-1 in favour of Adelaide. King played on, went long towards the wing. There's the other King, Wayne Carey. Wrapped up by Porter. And we'll have a bounce.
Promising signs from Wayne Carey. Had a pretty tough game against Collingwood last week. As we said, didn't go to ground at all last week in a whole game of football. Hit the deck a couple of times today, but more importantly, getting his hands on the ball. He looks a lot sharper today.
And there's that danger of the wound on his knee reopening. Something he's going to have to play with for the next 6 weeks. And just hope for the best. Prosciutto dives in on top of it. Biglan's in there as well. Good one over the football. There's the Adelaide bench. Matthew Clark, Burns, Begley and Bickley. Rain just eased a little bit now. Biglan's a tap. Harvey went off the deck. It's the advantage of David King if he can keep it in. He can just. And Massey takes it over. Out of bounds on the full. Come off the Massey boot as he slid over the line. And a free kick going to Jeremy Clayton. Wants to play on to King. Tumbles one inside 50. Petrie caught at the back of McGregor. McGregor dished off through the hands of Rashudo to Goodwin. Adelaide a chance now. Biglan's back to Goodwin. Towards half forward, just too much carry on the kick for Welsh. And Makepeace We'll go wide and find King again for his 4th touch. Port and roll this afternoon in the absence of Sinclair and Stevens. Senior players must stand up. Makepeace ran on for it. And marks the front edge of the centre square. Wants to play on. He's got a man out wide. There's a good kick, and he finds Simpson, who plays on, runs to 35. Adam Simpson goes for goal, and the Roos have got there first.
Wheels car of the year. Can't get enough of this.
Adelaide by 1 point. Bounce of the ball in the middle. Porter might have won it. Shirley's had a good season. He's been tagging brilliantly. The hand pass was a beauty too to Goodwin, and Goodwin finishes magnificently. What a goal! What a goal from Goodwin. It's 2-1. Adelaide Kangaroos 1 goal.
Simon Goodwin just started to show some signs of form last week in the last quarter against Collingwood. He struggled a little bit with the leg injury, but started to move a lot freer last week. And on the run, there's not too many better kicks in the competition. Robert Shirley getting involved in that passage of play with his beautiful quick hands, the real strength of Adelaide. Their ball use second to none in the competition, and a sign of a good team that can reply pretty quickly to a goal.
Back in the middle, Bigland's got hands on the ball again to Goodwin. It's taken down through the hands of Jones. Robbins harassed by McLeod. Grant in there as well, and a secondary bounce. Here's the Kangaroo bench. 3 youngsters with some experience. Simpson, raking kick inside 50 to the pocket for Rocker. Just got a hand on it. We'll have a throw in. Severio Rocker spent 2 weeks in the VFL, kicked 5 last week for Port Melbourne to earn a recall. Out of contract at the end of the season, the Kangaroos have been non-committal to this stage, so needs a good fortnight. Motlop flew high. Prosciutto, tackled by Rocker. Bode, he's tackled as well by Rocker, working hard, the big man. And another ball up, about 25 metres out from the Kangaroo goal. Matthew Bode last to get up. Quick fire opening. Last couple of minutes just stagnated a little. Simpson in over the top of it. Bode in on him. Illegally, said the umpire. Some downward pressure. And Adam Simpson will go back and shoot for goal as we head down to Troy Gray.
And Harvey, the #1 ball winner for the Kangaroos, has been dragged from the ground already, straight onto the phone to Coach Dean Laidley. And he's not happy, disgusted, threw the phone down. So it looks like the junkyard dog Dean Laidley not accepting anything but the best from his charges today.
So Simpson has kicked 1. Just nine goals for the season. Tries to sneak it inside the right post, but can't quite. Opportunity goes begging for the Kangaroos. Shane Clayton sits down. Maybe the Crows to bring it back into play through the skipper.
So Mark Prosciutto to himself, and then decides to head to the flank on the far side. Good distance with the kick, 2 or 3 up. Petrie at the back, spoiling. Stenglein attempted to kick away. Eventually they come away, the Kangaroos. This is Motlop, has a shot, and it comes up short and wide, and it's out of bounds. That's Worls getting his hands to it, and that's Motlop, who was the player who got it into that forward pocket. And there's Brown, just has a few problems. 13-7, Adelaide in front. There's Brown trying to work it away, might have just knocked his shin on Bigland's. Prosciutto tried to work it, just fumbled. Robbins in there as well, Tawney tackled, brought to the turf. Can't do anything constructive with that football, and the umpire to bounce. Scoring range for the Kangaroos. Kangaroos with 5 more tackles so far than Adelaide. Prosciutto from Biglands. Prosciutto outside the defensive 50. Laddams to Bode. Now they've got a chance as he gets around King with relative ease, spins beautifully and then sends it into the middle for Welsh. Good to see him back. A man's running downfield all by himself. Here's danger now for the Kangaroos as Burton's got it, runs to 50, nonchalantly kicks a goal. How easy was that for Adelaide and Burton?
Plug in this sharp 68cm TV and you'll get a DVD VCR combo and cabinet for only $9.98. Truscott Hi-Fi. Oh, don't forget, Thompson set-top box decoders for digital TV, $2.99.
It's Domino's Pizza Mania! In a battle for supremacy, the savagely tasty Sicily Kid takes on the wildly wicked, devilishly delicious Widowmaker! Be part of the action. Call now! Domino's!
So a few concerns for Dean Laidley. A couple of very low-pressure goals for the Adelaide Crows. They lead by 12 points through the hands of Simpson to Grant. Pressure from Biglands. Jones was taken high, got the kick away to centre-half forward. Spills to the back of the contest for Massey and Clayton. Petrie there as well, taken down by McGregor. Smart working hard. Flips it to Massey. Now Rasciuto. He dribbles it around the outer side. The bounce beats Burton. And we'll have a throw in.
And it's problem with the Kangaroos, no Anthony Stevens, the player who does put real physical pressure and body pressure on the opposition. He's missing an important exclusion in the midfield. Crows getting far too much easy football at the moment.
Puts a lot of pressure on Simpson around the stoppage as Simpson leads clearances for the year for the Kangaroos with 109. Stevens next with 68, so you can see the difference. Without Stevens there, a lot of work for Simpson to do this afternoon. The ball's with Burton. Simpson strains to get there. Just put some pressure on the kick. Rawlings at defensive 50. Handball to the voice of Colbert. Perry takes him down over the line. We'll have another throw in. Already seen the Crows starting to assert their dominance at the stoppages early on. That's an area where the Roos will have to work very hard this afternoon.
Especially an area like this, we know how dangerous the Crows are from this position, just outside 50.
The best team in the competition from kicking goals from stoppages. This time it's Jones, puts his body over the ball for the Roos. Rawlings, quick hands to Grant. Now Harvey, across his body, towards the wing. Numbers with the Crows. Clayton did well to force a contest. Brought it to ground. Rasciuto dived upon. And another bounce. There's Jeremy Clayton. Playing his fourth game this afternoon, originally from North Ballarat. He'd be familiar with these conditions. Cold and wet. Wouldn't worry him one bit as Lee Brown hacks it towards the boundary.
Yeah, it's a bit like the way he goes about his footy too. Got beautiful hands, plays very well low to the ground. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but done some very nice stuff when he's got on the green.
Mark Bickley on the phone. Biglands to the back of the contest this time. Simpson harassing Burton. Smart on the football to Rasciuto. Now to Shirley. Laddams taken down. Good tackle from Petrie, and the turnover comes to the Roos now for Harvey. Goes to Wells in the middle on the half volley. Simpson in there working overtime. He's taken down by Stendline. Motloff and Smart. Smart goes back and wins it. It's a hot ball in there at the moment. Wells spills to Shirley. He's pressured by Robbins. Bode now. King the clean pick up one-handed, but he can't get away either. Runs to 55, gives it to Harvey. Now some space out wide for Jones. Can line it up. Measures it from 40. Corey Jones misses. Just grazes the post. And the Roos did the hard work in close, just forced it forward with body pressure. Eventually kicked it wide to the open man, but Jones couldn't convert.
Spoke about Corey Jones in the pre-match, important player up forward for the Kangaroos, but you've got to finish and put pressure on Adelaide. A couple of opportunities the Kangaroos gone begging. They've got to finish.
11 the difference, and Tawney goes to Shirley. And Shirley decides to go into the back pocket. Massey, 19 to 8. Massey across goal. Back to Shirley. Very good against Buckley last week in the first half. Out to Stevens, who hasn't played much footy this year. Been dogged by injury. John Cock, who's having an outstanding 2003. Can play down back or up forward. Short passing it down to a contest, and it's a Kangaroos mark. And it's Simpson who takes it at half back. Off to Grant, perhaps their best player this year. And Grant plays on immediately and then gains 20 metres, kicks it well inside 50. Massey punching from behind, kicked away only about 20 metres from goal, so a scoring opportunity here for the Kangaroos. Petrie on the bottom of the pack, and the umpire pulls them all up and says, I'm going to bounce. Clayton is there as well, and so too McGregor. Umpire throws the footy up, not risking the bounce under these conditions. Here's Wells. What a talent this young man is. Swings it to a more central location. Here's a chance for King from Simpson. King has a shot, and King has missed to the right-hand side, but only just.
And again, the Kangaroos just a fraction sloppy with their skills. We thought that may be the difference between the two teams. The Crows handle the ball beautifully and do kick extremely well to their targets. Kangaroos just a little offline early.
Shudo goes long. It's a fellow veteran, Nigel Smart. He and Bickley go past Ben Hart again in the club games record this afternoon. It's been quite a battle between these three. Ben Hart missing with a quad injury. Carey, Porter at ground level to Simpson. Simpson and King have been very prominent early, 6 possessions apiece.
It'll be interesting to see how long the Crows can afford to leave Tyson Stenglein in a back pocket and not pick up Adam Simpson. He's an absolute accumulator of the football and of possession. Had 6 already, kicked a goal. How long can Gary Ayres let him run around like an unregistered?
Clark's come on for Biglands.
Quarter the tap. It's all Adelaide. McLeod to Rasciuto. Towards half forward. Welsh caught from behind. Makepeace and Archer there. Free kick. It's going the way of the Roos. Advantage will be paid to Colbert. Towards half forward. Burton. The pressure came from Clayton. Had hold of one arm. Umpire called play on. Clark to Laddams. Pressure from Clayton. Motlop had Burton coming at him. And a throw in. Clayton off, Harris on, the Kangaroos, while Welsh comes off for Ronnie Burns. Clark over the top, down to Rasciuto, handball to absolutely no one. It was under enough pressure. The umpire didn't deem it deliberate.
It's a habit he's fallen into a little bit over the last month, 6 weeks. Getting plenty of position, just throwing it away with hand instead of choosing to kick the ball and get some distance.
Clark and Porter. Goes to the back, Clark. There's Simpson again. Another clearance for him to Motlop. He takes the mark on his chest. Need to move it quickly, the Kangaroos. Tumbling kick inside 50. Might work out all right. Clayton, it was touched off the boot. Wells, twisting and turning around Rasciuto, around Laddams. Handball back to Motlop. They're under pressure. Now Wells again. Trying to create space. So they go backward and find Simpson. 8th touch. To the forward 50. Rawlings, the target, takes the mark. As well judged. The pack was converging on him. Kept his eyes on the football and took a juggler. Brady Rawlings. Too far out to score. Squares up to Simpson. There's holding. Free kick off the ball. Shepherding, in fact, it's going Adelaide's way. Oh, spectacular effort from the umpire. Umpire Michael Avon went crashing into Ronnie Burns. And down he went. Nothing untoward in that. The free kick will come to Adelaide.
And again, a wasted opportunity for the Kangaroos. I think that might have gone through for a goal too, with a free kick to Adelaide. It's got to make them hurt.
Holding decision. It went to Ken McGregor, I think, about 20 metres out from goal as they were setting up for an illegal shepherd. Tawney now to McLeod. And Adelaide have pushed forward to create some space. Perry's the long lead. Watt. Good hands to Makepeace. Around the boundary line, not a lot of space to work in. He finds a target, it's Brady Rawlings.
19-9, 10 the difference. Adelaide lead. And what have we played? About 18 minutes of the first quarter. Rawlings down to the wing, busy area, only a couple up in the end. Clark at the back of Porter. Too much height, umpire said play it on. Perry in the thick of it, he's got 3 to beat. Grant's one of them, Brown's another. And Harris is there as well. And Motlop is the 4th.
Chris, there are a few quick goals early in the game before both teams had settled, but now I think we're seeing the tempo at which this game will be played.
Yeah, absolutely. Kangaroos credit, they've wrestled it back. Certainly she's a 50-50 game now after the Crows blew it away early.
Rasciuto, one of a couple on the ground. Harris over the top. And Rasciuto to take the free kick. Not sure what that was for, perhaps a push. Bickley, who spent the first 10-12 minutes on the bench. He generally starts the games on the bench now for Adelaide. Will he go on next year? That's the big question. Question about Smart as well, as to whether he will continue on as well. That kick by Bickley travelled about 30 metres over the line at right half forward for Adelaide. So they're about 75 metres from goal. Under 8 minutes remaining until quarter time. Conditions, well, they're not good. No rain at the moment, but it would be pretty slippery out there. Clark and Porter, and Simpson as well, and Rashudo dragged to the ground by Robbins. And the umpire will throw it up again. This time about 80 metres from goal.
Yeah, conditions aren't great, but they're certainly not too bad. Mark Rashudo, and Adam Simpson head-to-head, both getting plenty of the football.
King close to the line. Rashudo with 9 disposals. Burton 6 and Shirley 5 for Adelaide. Simpson with 8. David King with 6 and Rawlings with 5 for the Kangaroos. There's the skipper for Adelaide and Simpson for the Kangaroos. Bickley. Burton, who kicked a spectacular goal earlier. Here's a chance now for Adelaide as Loudons kicks it looking for Carey, being held on to, but not according to the umpire. Over the line goes Colbert, the 2-2s there, Carey and Colbert, and the umpire to toss it in right forward pocket. So just a bit flat at the moment. Not a high-scoring game, as you can imagine, with these conditions prevailing. 3-1 to 1-3. McLeod, Rawlings, quickly jamming it onto the boot, outside 50, but it went straight to an Adelaide player inside 50 for Burns, couldn't mark. Now a chance for Goodwin, 35-40 metres from goal. He was looking for, almost finding Perry. Gee, that was a big effort from Carey, but it hit the base of the goal post. That was a huge effort, but in the end it was a behind. 3-2 Adelaide, the Kangaroos 1-3.
Certainly moving a lot freer this week, Wayne Carey. Landing on top of that knee too, so giving it a test early.
Makepeace played onto himself, kicked it long, straight up the middle for the Roos. Harris's kick smothered by Clark. Ricochets to Rashuto. Pass Goodwin, Simpson. John Cock ducked the head. Umpire paid the free kick nonetheless. So Adam Simpson gives one away on that occasion. Your call, Chris?
I think it's a bit stiff, but it was probably there. Fair enough, you've got to pay those.
Beautiful piece of fence sitting there from Chris McDermott. John Cock has the football. Carey offers a lead. Offers another one. The first one was a little half-hearted. He's out to the 50 now. You can see him in picture. John Cock will thump it high and long and wide and ugly. Out of bounds on the full. So the Roos to build from the back pocket. Through David King. He's got Archer just outside the defensive goal square and goes to him. A real favourite of the crowd here at AAMI Stadium, as you can hear. Simpson can flip it over the top to Rawlings. Inboard to Clayton. That's Shane Clayton. Now to Simpson. Go towards Motlop. Got Tawney to beat. Ball at ground level. Tawney recovers first. Free kick against Motlop, and that was a bit messy. And that'll be 50. Just a little nudge with the leg by Michael Avon. Had a good view of it. And penalises a frustrated Daniel Motlop.
Yeah, he's just got to control his frustrations a little bit, Daniel. Only a young kid learning his craft. Probably lets his temperament get away with a few errors at this early stage of his career.
So the ball's with Tawney. Penetrating kick inside 50. Colbert into the back of Carey. Free kick. As Daniel Motlop comes to the bench. To his indiscretion to be replaced by Corey Jones. Kangaroos not happy with that free kick to Wayne Carey. Here it is on replay.
They were certainly there, that one. Carey just doing the right thing. Lee Colbert really being Carey conscious and not focused enough on the ball. The ball was going over Carey's head. Gives him with an easy opportunity to kick a goal. Once again, the Kangaroos turnover. Daniel Motlop, the villain, at half forward, results in a goal or a scoring opportunity to the Crows. And that is what is going to kill the Kangaroos today.
Carey just read the penetration of that kick off the boot a little bit quicker than Colbert. Won himself a free kick. Stabs at it. Likes it. The King has a goal.
When we first spoke on the phone, she was warm, friendly, she laughed at my jokes. It was a beautiful thing. We got along like a house on fire. Until
what?
Until the house caught on fire. And I rang her to make an insurance claim. Hello, Trust? Whatever happened to Trust?
Always look on the bright side of life.
And also ran side.
Well, there's Wayne Carey, and Mark Rasciuto is taking a breather. He's on the boundary at the moment after the bounce, and it's pretty messy, as you can clearly see. A lot of rain overnight here in Adelaide. Cooper just passes the footy to the umpire, and the umpire tosses it up. Petrie there for the Kangaroos. Here's Bickley storming to the footy and then kicks it to within probably 55 metres. Now kicked close to the boundary line. Carey there outnumbered over the line, over the chalk. Umpire to toss it in.
Back dominating at ground level, the Crows. Kangaroos held sway for a while. Adam Simpson comes from the ground, having 10 possessions, replaced by Jeremy Clayton.
So another goal-scoring opportunity here for Adelaide. Grant sends it back to the wing, 2 or 3 up. Petrie read it nicely. Good crumbing inside 50 downfield. That's a very good mark to Brown in opposition to wonderful quality, and that is smart. And Brown will go back from around about 35 metres and have a shot. And they need this, the Kangaroos, late in this first quarter.
It's a superior body strength there from Lee Brown. Haven't seen the best of him this year. Had some very good moments, but probably not enough. Just a kid developing his craft. Got some great body strength. Took the good mark. Got to finish off there. Important kick for the Kangaroos.
So here's Brown from around 40 metres, and Brown has missed. An interesting stat, Rocker yet to touch the footy as Brown misses to the left-hand side. 4-2 to 1-4. We've played almost 26 minutes first quarter.
McLeod plays on quickly. Goes long towards the outer side. Big pack of players. McGregor in the midst of it. Spills to Daniel Harris. Across his body inside 50. Robbins stood tall. Got one in the small of the back from McLeod. He knew there was contact coming. Ben Robbins gets up a little bit sore and sorry.
Are they smart too, I reckon? Little knee in the small of the back with the upper thigh.
Nice cold day like today.
Yeah. If you want to make your tagger pay for it, that's the way to make them pay. Let's see how he recovers. But shows great courage, Ben Robbins.
Right on the top of the buttock. So Ben Robbins kicked 4 goals for the season. Another important kick for the Roos to stay in touch. Starts it out to the right. It's not working back. One thing about today, Chris, there's very little wind to speak of, so the kicks will generally go straight and with a little bit extra distance.
Absolutely, with a heavy ball, you've just got to nail it to the centre of the goals. Kangaroos, that's the 4th goal they've missed so far in this first quarter. Trail by 15 points. Certainly could have been a lot closer on the scoreboard.
And it's 6 scoring shots apiece. They've been very kickable for the Roos as rain starts to get heavier once again. Goodwin thumps it long outside defensive 50. Clark and Hale. We'll have some hail this afternoon. McLeod around the wing. Carey. Archer comes crashing through. Carey takes a look around. Big smile on his face. Didn't need to think twice about who that was.
And what about the last 5 metres from Glenn Archer? He was just coasting at a certain stage, but then put in a real burst for the last 5. Not quite.
That's brought the crowds alive. Throw in. Hale the tap, came back to him, tried to get it to Clayton, socket off the ground by Clark. Jones, was he taken high by Welsh? He was. Free to the Roos. Harvey runs hard to open space to create something. Tawney won't catch him. Harvey runs to 55, goes to the pocket, the lead's on from Brown and he hits him on the chest. Tough kick from there in these conditions. But nonetheless, the Roos are creating the opportunities.
Certainly are. Much better use of the ball, especially on that occasion from Brent Harvey. Lee Brown offering something up forward and a real target, beating Nigel Smart for pace on that occasion. As you said, Jace, a tough kick, but certainly kickable. It's about executing the kick properly, trying to kick it straight. As you said, not much wind to talk of. I've got to nail one of these difficult goals eventually, get some momentum to Kangaroos.
Lee Brown makes good contact. It looks pretty good. Might just miss to the narrow side, it did. So 2 behinds to Lee Brown. Did make good contact with that one. As we said, distance not a problem on a day like today. If you can make good contact on the football, it will go long and straight.
Yeah, certainly, but 1 goal 6 is the story. just not good enough in front of goals for the Kangaroos. We thought that would be a proper pre-match and proving to be so here in the first quarter.
Look at this rain tumble down as McLeod pinpoints a man inside the defensive 50. It was Bode. It was a good kick. Robbins was right there, but Bode was able to mark. Now Tawney down to wing, one-on-one through the hands of Makepeace. Archer close to the boundary line. Good closing speed there by Smart for Adelaide over the line. Welsh there and also John Cock.
The tempo this game settled into is suiting the Kangaroos pretty well, Chris. They're at the same number of inside 50s and one extra scoring shot.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, we were worried early the Crows were going to blow the game open. Kangaroos have wrestled it back, certainly got momentum now. There's not a lot of life in the game either, so that will certainly suit the Kangaroos, and looks like they're in for a tough afternoon.
Messy footy, 14 the difference. Such a crucial game for Adelaide in terms of their aspirations to finish the season off in second position, and therefore a home final. Port Adelaide at number 1, that position already secured for them. Players tumbling in at 100 mile an hour. Daniel Harris was one of the first to get there and will be one of the last to get up.
Going to be a key little player too today, Daniel Harris. Certainly attacks the ball hard, got good hand skills, good foot skills. Important player in these conditions.
So you've got to praise the Adelaide fans. There's a full house here in dreadful conditions. Over the line, out.
This is Hollywood rain at the moment, isn't it? The old rain machine, the hose out the back. It is very, very heavy.
It was number 12, Michael Stevens, for the Kangaroos, that you saw earlier, and no umbrellas allowed here anymore, hence the plastic gear, which does the job. Clark and Hale. Clayton, and passing to no one in particular. Tawney. Opportunity now for Adelaide, working it away. McGregor downfield over the head of Welsh. Rawlings got his hand to it, trying to crash through as Archer does it successfully. So can they build from half back to the wing? Maybe. There's a clash of bodies. And Robbins isn't well. He's taking a long time to get up that clash with Burton. Didn't do him any good at all. Adelaide now down toward half forward, but it's going to be cut out. Carey was the target. But Stevens takes the mark, goes laterally. He's got a man running and he's loose as well. So the Kangaroos perhaps a rough chance? No. The siren sounds. It is quarter time here at Amy Stadium, and Robbins is not healthy at all. That is a concern for him and the Kangaroos. Adelaide 4-2-26. The Kangaroos 1-6-12. Let's have another look at just what happened to Robbins.
Copped the accidental elbow from Burton then. Almost looked like his eyes rolled back into his head as he went to ground, Chris. I think he might have been out before he hit the deck.
Yeah, I think you might be right. An accidental collision there. He doesn't look well. Very unfortunate, but that is a football collision.
So the trainers are around him now. They'll take plenty of time with this one. Anytime there's any sort of contact around the head or neck region. Let's have another look at it. There's the eyes. Didn't look too good at all. So from the moment of contact, I think he was out. Ben Robbins, such a courageous player. Already copped a battering in the first quarter. Copped the knee in the back from McLeod a little bit earlier. That's the least of his problems now. Physios around him. The two sides have gone to their huddles for quarter time. It's the Crows 4-2-26. The Kangaroos are 1-6-12.
Look, he's okay. That's great. I mean, that's the sort of player Ben Robbins is. I mean, he's going to put his body in those sort of positions. Occasionally, you're going to come off second best. Great carriage to the young fella.
So quarter time, it's a rugged contest in difficult conditions here at Amy Stadium. It's the Crows by 14 points.
In tonight's news, Pauline Hanson's family rallies support as her lawyer continues pushing for her release pending an appeal. The body of UN chief Sergio Vieira de Mello flown home as officials blame Iraqi security guards at the UN building of helping the bombers. Queensland police mourn their 42-year-old colleague ambushed and killed by a 21-year-old gunman north of Brisbane. And it's all eyes to the skies as Mars makes its closest pass to Earth in 60,000 years. Details in tonight's news.
On 10's new hit show, how do you know it's the right time?
Good, yeah.
Well, he says,
You've got a fish on the hook. What are you waiting for?
That's right, mate. There's only so long a flathead will flop around on a jetty before it carks it.
This time it's about self-control.
And she says,
Maybe he just doesn't find me attractive. Because he's gay.
over 1 million Australians agree it's TV's most refreshing new drama. Crash Burn, 8:30 Monday.
Call Jim's Mowing on 131 546 and we'll not only mow your lawn, we'll also clean up your yard. Call your local Jim for more than just mowing.
LaCornia is re-roofing. The bedding department's a shamuzzle.
We've got to clear stock. 2,000 beds must go.
Save to 50%. Pillows, $5.
Mattresses, 23. Queen beds, $149.
Ensembles, $1.99.
Oh, must go.
LaCornia.
Mate, I'm so glad you're going to be with me today. Of all days. No worries. I just hope you made the right decision. No regrets? No way. It's just meant to be.
Just SMS the code from specially marked bottles of Coca-Cola, and you and a mate could be going off to a once-in-a-lifetime AFL Grand Final weekend footy experience that'll blow your mind. The Coca-Cola Wild Footy Weekend. You know you want it.
They thought the past was dead and buried, but it's about to come back with a vengeance.
You don't know what you're dealing with.
Don't let them put him in the dark.
We stay in the lake, we stay alive.
Darkness Falls at cinemas August 28.
Where's the home for spanners?
Where's the home for sprays?
Where's the home
To save this Father's Day.
Where?
Home Hardware. Make Dad's Day at our Father's Day Dog-a-Log sale. This 2-horsepower air compressor kit, just $139. And this handy tidy is only $4.75. The Father's Day Dog-a-Log sale.
Where?
Home Hardware.
Mitsubishi, makers of 8-time Dakar winner Pajero and the all-new compact Outlander, are celebrating 21 years of four-wheel drive with a free anniversary pack, $1,000 free fuel, 3 years 60,000 Ks free scheduled servicing, and a 5-year 100,000 K factory warranty on any new Mitsubishi Pajero four-wheel drive, Challenger four-wheel drive, or the all-new Outlander compact four-wheel drive. So celebrate with a free anniversary pack at your Mitsubishi Diamond dealer now.
Call Jim's Mowing on 131 546 and we'll not only mow your lawn, we'll also do your weeding. Call your local Jim for more than just mowing.
Quarter time at Amy Stadium, the home side with a 14-point advantage. All single goal kickers. Burton Rashudo with 9 touches for the Crows, while Adam Simpson was great in that opening term with 10 possessions for the Kangaroos. As we head down to Troy Gray with Crows assistant coach Peter Curran.
Peter, the Crows, they're the #1 team as far as starting in the AFL. You had all the momentum early, but then it ceased about midway through the term.
Yeah, look, certainly they got a bit more of their hand on it around the stoppages, and luckily they weren't able to hurt us on the scoreboard. So we've addressed that at quarter time, and hopefully we can get a response.
In these conditions, hence the umbrella, do you fear that you might be a bit top-heavy in the forward line?
Oh, no, in the end it comes down to work rate and effort with these guys.
Well, good luck in these conditions as well,
Okay.
and all the best. Thank you. Now, guys, just for all the Kangaroo fans, an update on Robbins after that nasty elbow to the head. He has regained consciousness, but he bypassed the quarter-time huddle straight down into the rooms to be assessed by the doctors. Will we keep you updated as far as whether he will play any further part in the game?
Thanks, Troy. See some vision off tape there of Ben Robbins heading down the race. So we get set for the second term. All things considered, Chris, it was a term of wasted opportunities for the Kangaroos. Had the same number of inside 50s and one more scoring shot, yet they trail by 14 points.
Yeah, missed 4 kickable goals. That may hurt them come the end of the game.
Second term at Amy Stadium. Biglands and Porter. Harris with the first possession of the term. Handball to Rawlings. Towards centre-half forward. Shirley, fisted to ground. Rashudo. Quick hands to Laddams. On the overlap now to McLeod. Towards half forward. Carey, the target. Takes it on the chest. Turns quickly. Pops it up high inside 50 for Perry. Michael Stevens gets across. Fist to make peace. Now to Archer. Across the boot to King. Tumbles one through the middle. Chance for Rocker, but going back with courage, Rashudo. And the skipper turns it around. Now to Tawney. Lead short from Carey. Decides to push wide instead. Dangerous kick. Makepeace spotted it off the boot and picked it off. Runs away from Laddams. Goes towards half forward. Off the knee of Brown. Makepeace followed up. Did well. Won another possession. And can go inside 50 to Corey Jones. Good play from Troy Makepeace. Left his man. attacked the first ball and then ran on to get the second.
And once again, the turnover's killing you. On this occasion, it was the Crows' Jason Tawney with the poor foot disposal. Wet conditions, you've got to hit your targets or at least play the percentages. Gary Ayres would not be happy with that. Corey Jones drops into the hole after some great work from Troy Makepeace. This is the goal the Kangaroos need to kick. So much effort. They need to be rewarded on the scoreboard. Corey Jones, maybe not the most reliable kick for goal, but big kick in the scheme of things. He needs to nail this one.
22 goals, 20 for the season, Corey Jones. Spent some time in South Australia playing with Sturt before being drafted by the Kangaroos. And he's just pushed that one across the face of goal. Another opportunity goes begging for the Kangas. Dean Laidley very frustrated, and understandably so. They're 1-7-13. But yet half Adelaide score despite having two more scoring shots.
Doesn't look like he's got much patience today, Dean Laidley. Moving players on and off the ground. If there's an indiscretion or a break in discipline, he's getting them off the ground very quickly.
13 the difference. Adelaide lead by just over 2 goals. Kick out from Rashudo. Stingline got his hand to it. Here's a chance now for Harris. Got it from Grant. Back it goes to Grant. He was taken care of though.
Free kick to serve.
Kangaroos to get a free kick. It's Rocker, and he'll kick from right on 50. This will be his first kick. He's had a couple of tackles, but his first significant possession for Rocker, and he's going to kick from about 55. So again, this is important for the Kangaroos. They've been offline and peppering the goals and unable to score goals. They need one here. Early stages, second quarter. Severio Rocker concentrating. 45-degree angle, kicks from about 60. Gee, that's a big kick, isn't it? That is a massive kick. But he's missed. Distance not a problem, but the accuracy not there. Behind to the Kangaroos. Let's head down to Troy Gray.
Just an update on Ben Robbins. He went straight down into the rooms. The doctor has re-emerged without Ben, and he's shaken his head, and the doctor has stated that Ben will not be playing any further part in this game.
Shuto goes long to the wing. Smart. Ball not clear by Jones. McGregor flipped it to the line. It's gone out of bounds on the full. Off a Kangaroo boot. Seems to be some confusion between the umpires here. Corey Jones is saying it's surely off an Adelaide boot. It's mine.
I don't think so, Corey.
Now he's called it.
This is where the replay would be handy, if they could look up at the screen and see this. Now, it's come off a Kangaroo play, come off Brown's boot. It's an Adelaide free kick.
Although I think McGregor's hand touched it afterwards, which is what the original call was, with the naked eye. So, one of those 50-50s. Jones. Wells. Tracking the football. Soccer's off the ground. It'll go deep to the pocket. Petrie no chance to get there. McGregor by his shoulder. And another opportunity for the Kangaroos. They've got to start taking them because you just get the feeling Adelaide will blitz it down the other end and kick one themselves.
The door's ajar. Sooner or later, they've got to kick a goal. Have to kick a goal here.
Biglan's unopposed. Looking for Shirley. Ends up with Laddams. Tumbles it outside defensive 50. Jones stretches to get there. They'll set up for another throw-in.
I think that's the difference between the two teams. When the Crows need to win the footy, especially inside attacking or defensive footy from a restart, they're just so superior to the Kangaroos. Kangaroos really short on numbers around the ball, on quality numbers around the ball. That will hurt them.
Biglan's hands on the football again. Porter gets boot to ball inside 50. Shane Clayton, handball was looking for King. It's gathered by Harris. Snap at goal from Daniel Harris, hits the post. And the frustration continues for the Kangaroos. Disappointment there for Daniel Harris. Threw it on the boot quickly, and they're up to 1 goal 9. 10 scoring shots to 6, but they trail by 11 points.
The Smarts kick outside the 50. Massey flying high, can't mark. Bit of time though. Gather his thoughts down, looking for John Cock. Ball ricochets close to the boundary line. Petrie gets it to King, inside 50 again for the Kangaroos. Adelaide need a mark here, because you can bet your life the Kangaroos will score a goal fairly shortly. The odds are that they will, although Adelaide working it out nicely. Massey from Bickley, and here's Burns now. Just got himself into a bit of trouble. Umpire says play it on. Now he has a good look and he says holding the ball. Ronnie. Or something like that. And Ronnie's not happy. And Makepeace has got the footy. for the Kangaroos. 85 from goal.
Ronnie's saying his legs were taken out from under him, Chris.
Yeah, might have been a bit stiff, Ronnie.
Makepeace onto the left boot, inside the 50, looking for a marking option. They've got one, and it's Rocker, and he will go back. 45-degree angle. He had a shot on the other side of the oval. He's on this side now, which is the members' side. He'll have a shot from around about 48 metres.
Great work by Troy Makepeace. Finally, a Kangaroos player's able to hit a target. Sav on the lead. Big fella just starting to have an influence on this game, and he needs to. It's been well documented. Finally, Kangaroos get an opportunity to kick a goal from a set shot inside 50. Big fella for him and for the Kangaroos needs to get this one.
It's 4-2 to 1-9. And the Kangaroos have had the last 6 inside 50s. This for something that they've wanted for a long, long time, and he swings, but it doesn't swing enough. And he's not happy. He's frustrated, and so are the Kangaroos, and so are their fans. Another behind. 1-10-16, the Kangaroos. Adelaide 4-2-26, the margin 10.
And that one goal was their first score of the game. So since that time, 10 behinds. Smart. High ball outside, defensive 50. Almost off the head of Biglands there. Bickley tracks it. Sockers off the ground. Chance for Burns. Makepeace coming the other way. Flashing across the screen with Stevens. Burns took him down. Mark Stevens gets it for the Crows. High ball to centre-half forward. Carey and Colbert. At ground level, John Cock. Squirts out the back to Shane Clayton. He sockers off the ground. Burton. Simpson approaching. Goes over the top of him. Burton runs to 60. Goes to the pocket and Carey. Well, Colbert wasn't expecting it heading in that direction. Came in quickly. Carey turned around and it hit him on the chest.
And you know what happens when you have so many shots at goal and you can't kick one, the ball goes down the other end. As you said before, Jace, the opposition will kick a goal. Adam Simpson runs over the contest, though. He leaves Brett Burton with the uncontested possession. While the kick wasn't great, fortuitously finds Wayne Carey. Luck plays a part in this game. Kangaroos at their own hand not having much luck, not being able to finish on the scoreboard. The Crows get an opportunity at the other end. You sort of get the feeling he might kick this.
A little bit more breeze in the second term. The flags just starting to flutter. Carey from the angle tries to steer it through and work it back from right to left. Couldn't quite do so. 1 goal, 2 to the King this afternoon.
Tell you what has happened, and we might have to cross down to Troy to see if it's fact, but it looks like the wind might have swung around a fraction. Kangaroos appeared to kick with it in the first quarter, albeit very slight, but they look like they might have the advantage of it in the second quarter as well.
It's certainly picking up a little bit more. Flag starting to flutter behind the goals. At Adelaide's end of the ground. King goes towards Porter, stood tall at the front. Burton arrived late. Umpire said his attempted spoil went across the shoulder of Mark Porter. Spotted Simpson. Massey and Burton arrived by the time the ball did. Burton takes it out. Simpson takes him down, but it'll come back for another throw-in as we head down to Troy Gray.
A few moments ago, we saw Ronnie Burns for the Crows gets caught with the ball and he wasn't happy at the umpires. He's since been dragged by his coach and he has let a tirade of abuse go at every single person, coaching staff included, on the bench. So not a happy man at the moment.
McGregor, Prosciutto, kick smothered by Petrie. He's then run down by Goodwin. Laddams. They gang tackle him. Stevens and Harrison over the top. They'll have a bounce. Centre wing. Crows by 11 points. We've played almost 10 minutes in the second term. Flags just starting to flutter a little. They flaccid in the opening term. Jones gets boot to ball to the advantage of Clayton. Now a chance for the Roos if he can gather, or at least flip it on to Wells. Wells arrives on the scene now. Handball. Simpson from 50 tumbles towards the goal square. Rocker. So surely now the Kangaroos, after 10 behinds on the trot, a chance to reduce that margin back to 5 points.
And we'll give Adam Simpson the credit for that kick. A checky pass to Big Sav. And maybe Mark Stevens just showing the signs of the lack of footy. He has not played a lot of football over the last 2 or 3 months. Sav Rocker just looks a little sharper than him at the moment.
Not a day for a player like Sav Rocker, but interesting that Dean Laidley persisted with Sav, even though he went without a touch in the first term, and it's starting to pay dividends.
Absolutely, just as you said, Jace, got to kick this goal.
So this to stop the rot for the Kangaroos. Sav is 19th on the all-time AFL goal-kicking list, and he goes back from 20 metres out and kicks that all-important goal for the Kangas.
Yeah,
How's it going, Bob?
Good, Steve.
Mate, you wouldn't have a decent 13mm spanner, would you?
Yeah, I got one of them.
Why borrow when there's bargains like a UHF CB radio, only 49 bucks, save 20. A 50-piece air toolkit, only 139 bucks. Superfit sheepskin seat covers, only $59 a front pair. And a jumbo toolbox, just $49, save 35 bucks.
I'll go down to Super Cheap and pick one up.
Finally, some reward for the Kangaroos' endeavour. 7 inside 50s to 2 this term in their favour.
Umpire tossing it up in the middle. Clark and Porter. McLeod had his kick smothered. A lot of Crows at the back, though. Over the pack goes Burton, only as far as Stevens for the Kangaroos. So he's got a man running. It was Colbert, but he decides to go longer than that to Harris. And here they go again, the Kangaroos. They can be in front if they can score a goal, as Rocker marks about 55 metres from goal. The margin is just 5, so Rocker kicks this, and they're in front by a behind. Here he goes now. He loads up the big sab. Big kick. Maybe, no, not quite the distance. McGregor, very strong grab under the circumstances. Terrific stuff from Kenny McGregor, who's having a very good season. John Cock from Smart, couldn't mark. Rashudo runs onto the footy. Tempo just lifting fractionally from half back down to the wing. Beautiful kick to Welsh. Wonderful mark in these conditions by Welsh. Just forward of the wing. Archer to stand the mark. Welsh with the footy. 5 the difference, and we're around 11 minutes until half-time. There's Welsh's kick. 35 metres down to 50. Clark. Opportunity for the Kangaroos. Here's Stevens away from a very busy area down toward left half forward. Petrie, good effort, couldn't mark though. Spillage comes to McGregor.
Oh, did it well.
Petrie did well. His second effort was outstanding, and Brown's effort was very good as well on Massey over the line. Umpire to toss in at left half forward for the Kangas.
Yes, Scott Welsh taking the mark despite the Archer attention and crashing into the furniture. The effort from Petrie there. Tried to mark it, Chris. Great follow-up performance, but could have left himself in trouble.
Yeah, certainly went to ground. The big fella got to hold your feet, especially in these conditions. Stay in the contest.
Porter down to Harris, who's having an influence. 7th touch. Spears it inside 50. There's another man having an influence. Great hands from Sav Rocker. Oh, he suggested he could be playing for his career. He's doing a good job of it so far. McLeod was out of position. Rawlings had to sit, and marks 35 out directly in front.
Yeah, having a real influence, Sav Rocker. Nigel Smart matched up on him on that occasion, and again, Sav beating him for pace. Looks pretty sharp, the big fella, getting involved again in that passage of play. Kangaroos now another opportunity to get another goal, certainly with the best of the footy here in the second half. Crows looking flat, getting nothing out of their midfield. All possession of the Kangaroos, just got to make it count on the scoreboard.
Rawlings. 5 goals for the season. On its way. Looks good off the boot. He likes it. And the Roos are in front.
He didn't. He did not. Oh no, that's awful. Where? Ouch. All over you like a rash, aren't they? Until you phone and tell him you've had a car accident, right? Insurance. Who can you trust?
Exactly.
What?
Always look on the bright side of life.
So the Kangaroos in front by 1. And it has been their quarter. They were frustrating early, but a couple of goals has them just the 1 point in front.
Important stanza of play now, Chris, with Mark Porter, their number 1 ruckman, off the ground, and they've got a couple of makeshift ruckmen in Petrie and Hale to go to.
Yeah, Hale in there at the moment. Porter's been very good early. Kangaroos getting some success at ground level.
Adelaide now with a chance. That was Welsh, but he was tackled, and Stevens squeezes it to Clayton. Got a man running for him, but he decides to go it alone, and then he sends it towards centre half forward, long and strong. Rocker again, the target. Bickley was at the back. Here's King. Another goal coming up for the Kangaroos here. King 30 metres from goal, and he has pushed it across the face. Golden opportunity there for King and the Kangaroos, but it is a behind.
Full of running though, the Kangaroos, all their midfield getting hold of the ball. What can happen with the Crows, because they do push forward and do play attacking footy, if you can control the ball at ground level, you can score against them. Kangaroos doing that at the moment, just can't get goals on the board.
Inside 50s this term, 10-2 in favour of the Kangaroos. Goodwin has it in the back pocket. Awkward kick-off balance. A high ball. Rashudo comes across the contest and takes the mark. Need to get some flow. Stevens has worked hard to the wing for him, and he obliges. Started his career with the Kangaroos. Mark Stevens goes down the line to another man who also spent plenty of time at Arden Street. Wayne Carey, just forward of the wing. Signals he wants to go long and does exactly that. Welsh is there. Perry's there. Welsh got hands to it. Johncock off the pack. Open goal. And Graham Johncock puts Adelaide back in front.
Capture your world the digital way with a digital camera from Harvey Norman. The 3.2 megapixel new 300 features 3 times optical zoom and a sleek weatherproof case. Buy now for $749.95 and receive a bonus Adobe Photoshop Elements 2 valued at $179. That's right, a 3.2 megapixel Olympus camera with bonus software, all for $749.95. Or save $100 on the 4 megapixel new 400 for only $899.95. Includes the Adobe bonus. Get snapping now and save with Harvey Norman, your digital camera specialist.
26 goals prior to today's match for Johncock. Let's head down to Troy Gray.
Just keep an eye on Glenn Archer. His right knee seems to have damaged it when he went sliding across the boundary line straight into the fence. We can see it there, bang, straight into the chairs that were resting against the fence, and his right knee has been sore ever since.
He hit the milk crate by the looks.
He did, with some velocity, that's for sure. So 27 goals for Graham Johncock now as a result of that goal, which put Adelaide back in front. Umpire to throw it up again. Very, very messy here. Untidy, ugly footy, but as we said, there's Ronnie Burns doing the boundary line. As we said earlier, such a crucial game for Adelaide in terms of finishing in second position. Then they've got the showdown next week. Jones out of the congestion and out toward the wing. Now, Kangaroos have got this covered. This is Harvey, well in front of his man. Short passing, just over the head there of King. It made it awkward for him. He's able to redeem himself. He got the hand pass to Simpson. Motlop. Now a chance for Wells, just needs to be precise. Harris, 60 metres from goal, across the face. This could be okay, it is. And Rocker runs into space and marks again.
Once again, Daniel Harris getting involved in that passage of play. What you've got to like about him is his ability to keep control of the footy.
No one in the goal square at all, Chris. Tawny's just spotted it now, because if Sav had have tumbled it to the top of the square, as we know on a day like today, it'll skid through hard and fast.
No doubt. Daniel Harris keeps his strong body over the ball, takes possession, then worries about what to do with it, and executes beautifully. Hits Big Sav, who is in very good form in the second quarter. It's a tough kick from here with a heavy ball.
He's already got one goal. He's kicked 1 goal, 2 so far. And there's Rocker's kick from about 55 metres, and he's missed. So an opportunity there for the Kangaroos to explode to the front again, but nothing doing. It's 5-3-33 Adelaide, the Kangaroos 3-12-30.
Frustration continues for Dean Laidley. He must be delighted with the way his team's playing in some respects, and very frustrated. They can't put it on the scoreboard effectively. Goodwin. The outer side, Stevens the target. It clears he and Rocker. Stevens has got Smart in support, uses him now. Smart throws it on the boot. Gains some distance towards half forward, but that's all. With a throw in about 70 metres out from the Adelaide goal. There's Chris Laddams having a breather. He's flexing the leg, in fact. He's got the physio with him. So we'll check on his condition shortly. Hale, the youngster, up against Clark. Simpson down to Wells. Bode emerges. Wells just got a hand on him. Clark. Wells goes again. Great effort. Pulls the turnover, Daniel Wells. Great endeavour from him. King thumps it long towards half forward. The race is on. Smart will get back there first. Motlop to put some pressure on. Massey went to ground. Motlop with clean hands. Runs to 35. Tight angle. Tries to bend it around. He does! Oh, what a great goal!
Get ready for your chance to unlock the vault at Sky City Adelaide. Join Sky City's action program in August, or use your card for your chance to win a share in 30 grand cash.
The Crows kick and the Kangaroos make it the goal.
So what a goal from Motlop. He's quick, and he was quick then. in tough conditions and kicked a ripper. And Laddams is okay, which is good news for Adelaide supporters. They're going into attack, but King holds them up. In front of Stingline, King at centre half back right now.
The game he's playing, getting plenty of the footy. We spoke about someone to replace Jess Sinclair in the back half. King taking that responsibility.
Kangaroos in front by 3 points. As Clayton's kick just finds Rashudo. Rocker perhaps the target, steaming up the ground. But it did fall short, and Rashudo was able to take the grab. 18th disposal for Rashudo to Stevens. And Adelaide supporters will be happy to see Mark Stevens back in business. This will be his 4th disposal.
They're forcing them wide, the Kangaroos, aren't they? Adelaide going right round the wings at the moment, getting lost out there.
Gary Ayres wouldn't be happy with that. He spoke about in the pre-match how simply wanted to keep the game plan. They play that way anyway, Adelaide, but given the conditions, even more important. And with Carey, Perry, Stevens up forward, going around the wings, Mark Rashudo, the only one of their midfield really getting any possession of note.
Clayton coming off for the Kangaroos and Grant going on. Archer trying to crash through. Ball goes back into a packed situation, and Adelaide will get a free kick out of it. Who's that at the bottom? There's Rashudo with Simpson. Look like Shirley. Now Begley. And Begley inside the 50 for Carey. Sandwich. King was in front. Bit awkward for him for the King. Over the line, right forward pocket. Andrew McLeod chasing.
Danger zone though for the Kangaroos. This is where the Crows are at their best. Inside 50 with a restart or boundary throw-in. Restart or boundary throw-in. Kangaroos cannot afford to let the Crows get a soft goal.
Stingline off and Burton on for Adelaide. King, gathers well. Under the circumstances, that was good footy. And then gets it back again. That was from Clayton. That footy very slippery at the moment. Picked up by Jones. Jams it on the boot. Over the head of Motlop. This will be interesting. Massey needs to keep his footing. He does. And then gets it across, and that's not too bad, although Motlop went from one man to another, and they kept it in the area superbly. Wells coming over to assist. That was good footy all round by the Kangaroos. But a free kick to Adelaide, and it'll go to Burton. Right up close to the boundary, out to the wing. Clark just sees it over the line. Good persistence by Motlop, and also Wells, but in the end, Adelaide worked it down to the wing. In front of the members, a full house here at Amy Stadium. And it's 36-30. The Kangaroos in front by 3. Goodwin going nowhere.
Would have thought these conditions would have really suited a player like Matty Bode, Chris Laddams, of course, playing the game at ground level. Bode only with 4 possessions. Laddams 5, not having a big enough influence.
So 3.5 minutes until the long break. It was Jones getting up high, and again it's over the line, and again the umpire to toss it in.
One thing Dean Laidley has got from his players this afternoon is commitment. They're committing their bodies to every contest, Chris, and in these conditions, that's really the #1 factor.
Sure are. You take the first 5 minutes out of it when the Crows kicked 3 early goals, it's been dominated by the Kangaroos.
Simpson again puts his body in. So many times, even think back a couple of minutes to when McLeod was going to pounce on an open ball, Michael Stevens committed his body to slide across his boot. They're the sort of acts that are keeping the Kangaroos, making them really have the running in this game. Shirley, spragged by Harvey, who wanted to go on with it. Umpire spotted it. He was on the correct side of that contest to see the fracas. And Shirley will get the free kick. Ninth touch for him coming up. To half forward, in from the side, Burton. Pushing decision. It's going Adelaide's way. It's going to Ian Perry. About 55 metres out from goal. So a chance now for the Crows. Carey leads hard. Clayton stands in his way. Carey goes to ground. Trying to milk a free kick, but nothing there.
Got to go long and strong to the hot spot. Here Ian Perry. Hit the top of the square. Crows comers, let them do the work.
That's exactly where he does go. This kick's on line. This kick's a goal! Brilliant from Ian Perry.
In tonight's news, Pauline Hanson's daughter Lee flies home from holidays in New Zealand as the family rallies in support of her bid for an early appeal. 6 Iraqi security guards detained for questioning over the truck bombing of the UN building in Baghdad that claimed 23 lives, including UN Chief Sergio Vieira de Mello. And it's all eyes to the skies as millions prepare for the closest view of the planet Mars in some 60,000 years. Details, tonight's news.
26 goals for the season for Ian Perry. That was a beauty. And it's got Adelaide in front again by 3 points, 39-36. Untidy in the middle again. It's slippery, it's tough, it's uncompromising footy. Let's quickly head down to Troy Gray.
Just an update on Glenn Archer's right knee. He actually slid into a milk crate, which was right against the fence there, and bang, his right knee is opened up, so there is a wound and is bleeding on his outside of his right knee, and he's not in too much comfort at all. He looks to be moving okay, but he's constantly checking it, so he will require some attention.
Okay, thanks for that. That information on the boundary about Glenn Archer. Rashudo, he's went without the footy. Brown, right over the top of Clark. And Clayton is there as well, number 43 for the Kangaroos. 39-36. Stevens through his legs. Rashudo, McLeod tries to work it. Goodwin, umpire says pull it back. Goodwin was about to dash off. Shirley will take the free kick. To Stevens, to get rid of it quickly, and did to Johncock. Minute and a half remaining. Adelaide, 2 kicks from goal. Graham Johncock, Carey with the lead. Johncock goes long to within about 25, 30 metres, punching from behind Kangaroo defenders, and it's out of bounds, right forward pocket. And that's Brett Burton, who tried desperately to keep it in play.
Alarm bells will be ringing in the Kangaroo box right now.
No doubt. Can't afford to allow Adelaide to score here late in the second quarter. Clark, almost by himself. King, Jones, close to boundary, over again. So this is a very tight contest here, and the Kangaroos with pride to play for. There's Glenn Archer's injured right knee, and technically he should come off.
Nick is bleeding profusely. There's the softie. I mean, these are the things and indiscretions that would break Dean Laidley's heart. Kangaroos, with all the play this quarter, have missed 9 shots at goal that are kickable goals in the first half of footy here. Completely the dominant side. A break in discipline, a breach in discipline by David King. You can argue as much as you like. Give the Crows an opportunity for that soft goal we spoke about before half-time, just to extend their lead.
So the action and the pressure funneling down on Matthew Bode. And he'll kick from a tight angle from about 48 metres. Left foot is on its way. Will it swing back? No, it won't. And it is marked by Carey, but over the line. So it's a behind to Adelaide late in the quarter with under a minute to go. It's 6-4 Adelaide, they're 40. The Kangaroos 4-12, 36.
Just clarifying the situation with Glenn Archer's knee. The blood rule states that if you're bleeding profusely from the knee, you'll have to come off. That's not active bleeding at the moment, which is why Glenn Archer can remain in the contest. Makepeace goes straight up the middle and finds Shannon Grant, defensive 35. Doesn't want to cough it up at this stage of the quarter. So he hangs on, waits for an option and goes wide towards the wing. Tawney did well. Chance now for Adelaide. Laddams to Burton. Rashudo confronted by Simpson. Pressure was enough to make the handball go astray. Jones get hands on it. Did he try to get rid of it? It spilled out nonetheless. Grant only as far as Tawney. There's still time for the Crows. Holds it up. Goes short. He finds Bode. They need a kick and a mark inside 50. Carey offers a lead at 50. Bode will go laterally. Time may beat them unless Perry thumps it in a hurry. Ball on its way. It's in the flight. Siren will sound. And that will be half-time here at Amy Stadium in what has developed into a very, very interesting contest. The Adelaide Crows 6-4-40. The Kangaroos 4-12-36. In that quarter, the Crows adding 2 goals too. Another quarter of missed opportunities for the Roos. They added 3 goals, 6. But at half-time, Adelaide's top 2 berth hangs by a thread. It's the Crows by 4 points.
Homer's got a new look, new grooves, and new friends.
Gay, bye.
So he's not Homer-phobic.
We can walk around naked.
Way ahead of you.
All new Simpsons right after Australian Idol Monday.
Myland Office Furniture has brand new lockable metal storage cupboards to secure your office valuables or lock up your poisons and tools in the garage. Adelaide's lowest price, just $199. Look up Myland Office Furniture and lock up.
Janet. She bought a Simpson washing machine and dryer and suddenly found the time to develop a killer backhand. Next door, Teresa bought a Simpson dishwasher and now has time to discuss current affairs. Tanya bought a Simpson oven and she then had the time to get to know the new neighbour, Tim. Simpson's time-saving features give you more time for life. Simpson, time for life.
The less that happens to the oil in your engine, the better it protects. Which is why, together with Ferrari, Shell developed Helix. Even in the white heat of racing, Helix stays calm. And if Shell can protect a Ferrari, who better to protect your car?
You'll see $1 goes further at Bunnings Warehouse with the lowest prices every day. Snail and slug pellets $1.25. No More Gas interior just $4.49. Electric line trimmer a bargain at $26. 3-in-1 bathroom heater a low $59. 25-metre extension lead $14.98 and metal toolbox only $7.39. We won't be beaten on price. That's our promise.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
No deposit, no legals, no stamp duty, and no cash of your own. You even keep your $7,000 grant. How affordable is that? Call Divine 13 24 66 now for a new home with no cash of your own.
Got the hots for what's in the box with the dots? Then call now and we'll have your favourite Domino's pizza bubbling away in the oven in next to no time. Get it while it's hot.
Myland Office Furniture has brand new lockable metal storage cupboards to secure your office valuables or lock up your poisons and tools in the garage. Adelaide's lowest price, just $199. Look up Myland Office Furniture and lock up.
The Panel, 9:30 Wednesday. 10 News with Bill Woods.
Good evening. First, a $500 million push to save the ailing River Murray. The Prime Minister putting the future of the nation's biggest river system at the top of the agenda for state and federal ministers.
The pledge to improve flows throughout the Murray-Darling system came at a meeting of the Liberal Party's State Council in Adelaide.
This will be a very important start. It obviously won't be the last word, but unless further work is undertaken, then great environmental and other damage will be done.
The Commonwealth will put up $125 million, calling on the states to find the rest. Low water levels and rising salinity in the Murray-Darling system are blamed on drought and overuse of the river water by industry and irrigators. The system so diminished, the Murray mouth at Goolwa is a mere trickle. Part of the plan is to buy water rights from irrigators to put the flow back into the river system.
Everybody knows that we've got to work together on this water issue. This is a great national challenge. And this is a huge challenge to the federal system.
The South Australian government has welcomed the announcement, saying its contribution towards saving the River Murray is already double that of the Commonwealth.
If we don't see concerted action by everyone involved, within 20 years we're going to see problems with our drinking water.
Rick Teague, 10 News.
An elderly man is lucky to have survived a suspicious house fire in Adelaide's west. A passerby pulled him to safety after his daughter noticed the flames.
Firefighters could do little to save the Lindsay Street house, but a neighbour managed to save the life of its occupant. An 84-year-old man rushed to hospital after being pulled to safety. Today, as fire investigators tried to piece together a cause, Dave Lowry was hailed a hero.
No, I don't cast myself a hero, I just help someone out, that's all.
Mr Lowry and his daughters were on their way home at about 9 o'clock last night when they noticed the fire.
And then I saw this flame light go past the front door and I was like, hey, that house is on fire.
When I was yelling out to see if anyone was in, I could hear him. So I had to get down on my hands and knees and crawl into the house. And until I found him, and he was, I think he was in the kitchen, just grabbed him by the jacket and dragged him out.
Pretty heroic, I'd say, to go into the back of that house when it was well involved in fire. I think through his actions he saved that person's life.
Police are treating the fire as suspicious. The victim remains in a serious but stable condition, suffering smoke inhalation and burns to his hands. Margie McClue, 10 News.
I'll be back with more 10 News after this break.
Anything kicking is amazing, amazing, amazing. The kind of things you can do. Go! Towards the camera. There's 4 posts, 2 big ones, 2 small ones. 6 points for a goal, okay? It's through the big points, 1 point through the small ones. The ball hits the post, that's 1 point as well. Amazing. Peter Hallier, 40 metres out to win the game. It's a 50-metre penalty. He'll go and shoot from in front of goals. Oh.
Get the lowdown on the game after the game. Tonight on 10.
After the game, it's going to be amazing.
When you're buying electrical, do you expect a price reduction? At Truscott Hi-Fi, on these super advanced Philips home theatre systems, you'll get a price reduction of $400. LG 68cm true flat screen stereo TVs reduced $80. On these Sony digital camcorders, you'll get a reduction of $150. And with these Sony DVD players, expect $30 off. Price reductions every day of the year at Truscott Hi-Fi. Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms.
McDonald's new roast chicken salad is my absolute favourite because now my mum loves Macca's as much as me.
Introducing our new roast chicken salad with an exotic salad mix, succulent roast chicken breast pieces, dried cranberries, bigger so-like cheese, all topped off with our choice of low-fat, tangy dressings. It's just one of the many delicious lighter options now permanently available.
Go Macca's.
New Salads Plus. It's change for good at McDonald's.
The biggest has just got even bigger. City dismantlers have expanded to include City truck dismantlers. So whether you run an F100 up to a Volvo, Kenworth or any type of truck, City truck dismantlers are bound to have the part for you. They have a huge range of parts and accessories, including fully reconditioned engines and gearboxes. And because it's part of the City's complex, the machine shop and workshops are state-of-the-art, second to none. City truck dismantlers for all your trucking needs. Grand Junction Road, Jeps Cross.
You'll see a dollar goes further at Bunnings Warehouse with the lowest prices every day. NPK fertiliser a bargain at $1.98. Camping chair only $8.99. Exhaust fan great value at $14.98. Black & Decker buzzsaw $99. 5 litre pressure sprayer a low $9.95. And Yates potting mix just $1.94. We won't be beaten on price. That's our promise.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
There are many puzzling phenomena, some easier to explain than others. Why, for example, here in Norfolk, did fish mysteriously fall from the sky? Tornado or something more mysterious? Why, too, do more people pay with Visa than American Express? Visa is accepted at twice as many places around the world. And one of those places is the famous Doyle's at Sydney's Watson's Bay. Why is Doyle so popular? The fish is so fresh.
This is worth over $21,000.
This is worth over $21,000.
And this
This is worth over $21,000.
Well, no one told Jarvis.
Because if you're quick,
You can buy a Falcon.
worth over $21,000.
For $17,990.
$17,990.
$17,990. But there's only 16 of them.
At $17,990.
Low kilometres.
And no deposit finance.
With all the Jarvis extras.
Jarvis are all over Adelaide.
And no feral salespeople.
Australia's oldest war veteran, Frank McDonald, died in Tasmania early today, aged 107. Frank won the military medal during service in Belgium in 1917. Even though he served in the infantry in the First and Second World Wars, he was never wounded. He was admitted to hospital early this month after breaking a hip in a fall at his nursing home in Tasmania's northwest. Mutual community members will be hit by out-of-pocket payments, which could add up to thousands of dollars when they seek treatment at some of Adelaide's leading private hospitals.
Mutual community members will be hit by an 11% increase at 5 major hospitals after talks between the health insurance giant and Healthscope broke down. Hospitals warning those needing specialist treatment should change insurers.
If they're a mutual community member coming into one of our hospitals, that's Ashford, Flinders and Memorial, and indeed now Parkwind and Griffiths as well, that they consider transferring to another fund.
The insurer didn't accept Healthscope's increases, stating it would have meant a rise of more than $10 a week in premiums. The opposition standing by mutual communities stands.
I support mutual community in not agreeing to an 11% increase as demanded by Healthscope, because that would have pushed up premium rates.
The increase will come into effect from October 1. It won't apply to mutual community members already booked in to Healthscope hospitals. Other health insurers will not be affected. Members requiring more information are urged to call 1800 008 611. The line will be manned from 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Amy McKay, 10 News.
Pauline Hanson's family and friends continue to rally to her support as she battles to be released from jail until her appeal can be heard. Her daughter Lee cut short her skiing holiday in New Zealand and flew home to Australia this evening. She hopes to be able to visit her mother in Brisbane jail tomorrow. As support swells, Pauline Hanson's father is selling an apartment to help fund her coming legal battles. Premier Peter Beattie refuses to intervene.
It is not worth being in government if you don't stand up for important principles like the rule of law.
But the Premier admits the One Nation party she founded is turning into a juggernaut that could cost him seats at the next election. Now for a quick look at the weather forecasts. Mostly sunny in Cairns, cloudy for Townsville, raining in Brisbane and Sydney, showery in Canberra and Melbourne, windy and wet in Hobart, showers for Adelaide, easing around Perth, showery also in the top end, and cloudy across the centre as well. The country came to the city today as the Royal Adelaide Show Parade wound its way along King William Street. Despite the rain, hundreds cheered the animals and colourful characters, signalling the show is less than a week away. Sheep, alpacas and other farmyard friends had the run of the street. Some chose alternate modes of transport to make the journey. Celebrating its 10th birthday, the parade provides a taste of show week, which begins next Friday. That's all from 10 News for now. Stay with us for the news as it happens in our next national bulletin at 5 tomorrow evening. I'm Bill Woods. Good night.
I used to come to McDonald's for my kids. Now I come here for my lunch.
Introducing our new chicken fold-over with succulent roast chicken breast pieces, grilled onions, shredded lettuce, melted Bega So-Light cheese, all in a seasoned flatbread and topped off with a low-fat herb mayonnaise. It's just one of the many delicious lighter options now permanently available. New Salads Plus. It's a change for good at McDonald's.
Shopping for timber flooring? Discount City Carpets presents the new release of Kendall laminated timber flooring at a very special low introductory price of $29.95 a square metre. Kendall timber flooring has got everything the others haven't. Scratch resistant, stain resistant, impact resistant, and stands up to wear and tear. Pass the test? Don't miss out on this great introductory offer, $29.95 a square metre. That's a $20 a square metre saving. Discount City Carpets, Superstores and Super Warehouse.
What you need? Get super gifts for super dads at Stratco this Father's Day. Alfresco chair with side table, only $36.95. Laser level kit, a low $69. Dremel rotary tool, great value at $99. Stratco 8-metre tape measure, just $6.95. And Toolbox Triple Pack, $29.95. Fly in now for super deals at Stratco.
What you need today.
Meet Janet. She bought a Simpson washing machine and dryer and suddenly found the time to develop a killer backhand. Next door, Teresa bought a Simpson dishwasher and now has time to discuss current affairs. Tanya bought a Simpson oven and she then had the time to get to know the new neighbour, Tim. Simpson's time-saving features give you more time for life. Simpson, time for life.
How's it going, Bob? Good, Steve. Mate, you wouldn't have a decent 13mm spanner, would you? Yeah, I got one of them.
Why borrow when there's bargains like a UHF CB radio, only $49, save 20. A 50-piece air toolkit, only $139. Superfit sheepskin seat covers, only $59 a front pair. And a jumbo toolbox, just $49, save $35.
I'll go down to Super Cheap and pick one up.
To all those people who say new homes are unaffordable, I say Divine Homes, no cash of your own. No deposit, no legals, no stamp duty. You even keep your $7,000 grant. And pay from just $185 a week, including Divine's $50 a week off until 2005. No deposit, no legals, no stamp duty. How affordable is that? Call Divine 13 24 66 now for a new home with no cash of your own.
The AFL Premiership Season 2003, brought to you by Carlton, brewed since 1864, and our telecast sponsors Carlton Draft. Draft beer at its best. Ford New Falcon, can't get enough of this. Discount City Carpet Superstores. Truscott Hi-Fi, best advice, low price. Booze Brothers. Sky City Adelaide, the place to see footy on the big screen. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. RAA Insurance and Harvey Norman.
The message from Gary Ayres at half-time. This one's got danger game stamped all over it.
Oh, has it ever. They need a big lift in the midfield. Some of their senior players need to stand up. Andrew McLeod certainly needs to get back into the game. And what they do need to is get back to their game plan, playing the percentages, working the corridor. They've been pushed far too wide today, been very ineffective. They may well be in front, but the signs are not good leading into a final series. And they need a lift across the board. The captain really the only shining light at the moment.
There's the Adelaide huddle. Just Mark Rasciuto focusing his players on the hour of football they've got in front of them. It is crucial, as we've mentioned. They've got Port Adelaide in round 22. A loss here, things don't go their way. The Crows could be 6 by tomorrow night.
Yeah, they certainly could be, and that's the interest in why they dropped Nathan Bassett. I mean, they've really missed him in the back half. He's such a great negator at the moment. Both Nigel Smart and Mark Stevens just looking like they're a yard off the pace. Nathan Bassett would have been very handy to go given the loss of Ben Hart.
Let's take a look at the leading ball getters in the opening half. Mark Rasciuto's led from the front with 20 possessions. David King, Adam Simpson in particular for the Kangaroos. We said at the start of the game, Chris, that without Sinclair and Stevens, some of their senior players would really have to step up and carry the added load. Those two have certainly done it.
Yeah, King certainly has. Adam Simpson was great in the first quarter with 10 possessions, a little quieter in the second. Tyson Sengon is on the bench and has the ability to come on and negate Simpson if needed. But he's been an important player. Robert Shirley's done a fantastic job restricting Brent Harvey to only 6 touches and getting 10 himself.
Andrew McLeod down to 8 possessions. There's David King. He's had 14 to lead the game for the Kangaroos. He's just been inspirational at both ends of the ground. He's taken the ball outside 53 times. He's also taken the ball inside 50 at the other end. And his partner in crime, Adam Simpson's been first hands on the football on plenty of occasions.
Yeah, he certainly has been. If you can be critical of David King, is the fact that he's burnt the ball on a couple of occasions, preferring to kick screw punts with it rather than a drop punt. But he does get some mileage in his kick and some meterage in it when he does make good contact, and won a lot of contested footy, which is the most important thing.
I mentioned Andrew McLeod, 8 possessions, yet to have a real impact in this contest.
Got to get him up inside 50. That's where he'll do the damage on the wet weather like this. Mark Rasciuto's the player getting all the possession. Get McLeod inside 50 around the goals. He can be extremely dangerous. Kick quick goals and turn the game on its head in a short space of time.
So crucial half of football in Adelaide's 2003 Premiership campaign. They lead by 4 points. Quarter the opening tap. Prosciutto bumped off it by Harris. Jones soccers off the deck. The ball will be dry for the first couple of minutes, so important to make it count. Brown to Wells. Clean hands. Handball to Rawlings. Set him up. Threw it on the boot quickly. But Stevens goes back and takes the defensive mark. So Mark Stevens, his first game back since round 5. Knee, back and rib injuries have kept him out for most of the year. He's coming good at the right time. This is this man Welsh, who's missed the last 3 weeks with a back injury. After missing the first 8 weeks of the season with osteitis pubis and a thumb injury.
Interesting first centre bounce. The Crows went man on man, something they very rarely do, so an obvious message from Gary is get alongside your direct opponent.
Porter couldn't take the mark, but Makepeace got the crumb. Roos will go forward again momentarily. It's taken by Begley, who was a late inclusion for Tyson Edwards this afternoon. To Burton. Had plenty of it in the opening half. John Cock. Boats swooped on it. Advantage paid. It's originally going to John Cock. It's now with Burton. He'll thump it long to 50. Carey will come from the back. Clark slapped it to the front of the contest. Carey gathers now. Clean hands to Shirley. On the overlap to Welsh. Tips it inside 50. I think Bogue was his target. Harris went back, forced the contest, and emerged with the football. Well played. He's been good, the youngster. Out wide towards Stevens. Burton spectacular. Not quite. Ball goes out of bounds before he got boot to ball, but Daniel Harris playing his 25th game. He's picked 14 in the 2000 draft. You get the feeling that he's a bit of a mud runner. Daniel Harris likes it tight and tough in the wet.
Certainly does, got a very strong body, but what he does do is handle the ball extremely well, keeps his body over it, takes clean possession and uses it very well also with his foot.
Adelaide by 4. 4 points. Adelaide in front, inside 50 now. Carey, here's danger. Carey from the pocket. Don't tell me. Don't tell me! Oh, that's the goal of the year! What a ripper! Oh, what a ripper!
Vote for your favourite AFL player and you could win a mobile phone from Telstra or a home entertainment package. SMS the full name of your favourite player to 0428 774 304. There's a weekly prize of a Sony Ericsson T68i mobile phone, which is capable of sending and receiving pictures valued at $900. Or the major prize, an entertainment package valued at over $20,000. Keep watching 10 to see if you've won. And who is this week's top AFL player? SMS now.
So a piece of magic from the King. Tight from the boundary line and no space to work through. As Jack Dyer would say, the angle was so tight the ball could have got wedged between the posts. And I think he enjoyed that one. And all hail the King. Yep. They loved it on the scoreboard. They've just seen the replay and gone up again. Harris emerges from the congestion. Important goal in the scheme of this contest as well. It's given the Crows a handy 10-point buffer. Wells, first to the ball. Handball to King. Across his body. Massey attacked it. It'll spill to Stevens. Now to Burton. Slams it on the boot and finds Begley. Crows with a bit of spring in the step. McLeod. Handball to Tawney. Stepped inside Grant. Tumbles it wide to the wing. John Cockey's intended target. The ball tumbles out.
Get the feeling the Kangaroos do need to kick the next goal. Momentum will be very important in this game. The game's going to blow open. You would think the Crows are the ones capable of doing that, given their embarrassment of riches. Kangaroos need the next goal.
Clark and Porter wrestling. Porter tries to work to the front. Gets that position. Clark comes over the top. McLeod tried to tap it to his own advantage. Grant, quick hands to Harvey. Throws it on the boot. Stevens the fend off. Clean hands to Welsh. Up the line for John Cock. Stevens attacked it. Motlop fumbled. Porter went down and won it below his knees. Did well, but a free kick. It's coming to the Adelaide Crows. It's coming back to Welsh. So Adelaide have it. Centre wing to the 50. King across the front of the contest. Slapped it down to Harris. Scrubs a kick out towards the boundary line. Porter again. Had to pick it up at ground level. Did well. Drew 2 players to him and got it to Motlop. How we got it to Motlop? Well, that might be a bit questionable. But Petrie. Massey went off the ground. Grant on the overlap to Rawlings. Goes towards Rocker and Smart. Smart will have the pace advantage if he can get a clean bounce. Tawney to mop up, and he'll thump it long to 50. Makepeace will come from behind and take the mark on his chest. Chance for the Roos to build from centre-half back. Harvey just got away from Bode. Got it to Watt. Oh, clever. Slapped it between his legs to the voice of Harvey. The path opens up. Harvey runs to 55, goes for the spiral, and Petrie will take the mark 20 metres out directly in front. Brilliant play from Shannon Watt to keep that play alive. And Brett Harvey tumbled it in deep.
Great kick by Harvey, and once again we've spoken about players losing their feet. In conditions like today, Kenny McGregor goes to ground. Petrie takes the mark. Kangaroos, we said, needed the next goal. Petrie has the opportunity to do it. They've missed a couple of sitters today. Needs to kick this goal. A quick reply.
Important on 2 counts. Firstly, to get back within that 1 kick margin, but also for their confidence. They need to start converting. You can just get the feeling that fate's against you. If you keep kicking behinds, just get the vibe it's not your day. So Drew Petrie's kicked 24 goals for the season. He likes that one off the boot. Goal umpire goes across, and Petrie's got his first.
How's it going, Bob? Good, Steve. Mate, you wouldn't have a decent 13mm spanner, would you? Yeah, I got one of them.
Why borrow when there's bargains like a UHF CB radio, only 49 bucks, save 20. A 50Bs air toolkit, only 139 bucks. Superfit sheepskin seat covers, only $59 a front pair. And a jumbo toolbox, just $49, save 35 bucks.
I'll go down to Super Cheap and pick one up.
There's Petrie. Valuable goal for the Kangaroos. As this 50,000 perhaps plus crowd start to get excited again for Adelaide as they work it away here, the Kangaroos. Chance for Grant from Motlop, and then Grant down toward right half forward. Stevens at the back for Adelaide. King tries to work it sideways to Simpson. Hand pass close to the line. King was the target. It came from Michael Stevens, and it's out. About 85 metres from goal. That's from the Kangaroos' goal. For the difference. Third quarter. Huge crowd at Amy Stadium. No rain at the moment. Motlop, Simpson to within about 50. Stevens caught by Jones. King. Smart having to get back. Bad bounce there for the Kangaroos through from behind. 5:13, 43 the Kangaroos. Adelaide 7-4, 46. We played 8 minutes, third quarter.
Shudo in the back pocket. Possession number 22 for him. Just holds it up, waits for the right option. Decides to go to the defensive goal square and finds Begley.
Done it well, the Kangaroos. They've really been able to stop the Crows' run. Mark Shudo, as we've said, the only on ball, and has been able to get a lot of the football. Brett Burton with a bit, but nothing from Simon Goodwin. Andrew McLeod, no run.
Begley towards the outer side. Jones almost hung onto him long enough. And in these conditions, the umpire cut him some slack and paid the mark. Goes short inside 50, Porter the target. It's going to come back. A little unfortunate for the Kangaroos because it may well have been a free kick to Mark Porter for the late contact. It will come back to Jones. 60 metres out from goal. Huddle of players at the top of the goal square with some space to lead into, which is what Motlop does. Goes to the pocket, has to come over the top of Smart, and does. Well, the rain has eased. Still slippery conditions, but clean hands from Daniel Motlop.
Has got a great pair of hands, takes a very good mark overhead, Daniel Motlop. Nigel Smart just looks off the boil today. Doesn't quite look like the Nigel Smart that we've become accustomed to. Daniel Motlop plays very tall for his height.
He's a skillful player. We saw that in the second term when he bounced it around from the angle. This for a set shot on its way. And I fixed him well and truly. I think he's a little bemused with that effort himself. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it. It was a scrubber at best.
A pie, I think they call him.
He just snuck into the near side. The shoot over the kick in. Goes to himself. Gains an extra 5 or 10 metres, then thumps it long, looking for Smart. It was a beautifully weighted kick. And the veteran took the mark just inside the boundary line. Wants to move it quickly. Will go down the line. Stevens his target. Harris gets across, puts body on body, creates the turnover. Colbert steps around Stevens. Handball to Harris. Inside 50. Rocker. Almost. Tawney taken down by Petrie. Umpire calls play on. Grant twisting and turning. Gets away from Begley. From the angle. Burton goes back. It was actually a beautiful kick from Shannon Grant. But Burton got back and took the mark.
Yeah, last line mark by Burton. And now McGregor. And now Begley on the way out, and now the skipper. And Mark Rashudo from right on centre half-back out toward John Cock. Punched away from behind by King. Good footy. Now Simpson and the Kangaroos in the van again. Beautiful kick. No, not quite. Came up short. Shirley's got the footy. Tries to get through and does successfully. Now to Bode. Listen to the roar. Adelaide fans keen for Bode to go short. Perhaps he does, and it doesn't quite come off. Burns in trouble now. Wasn't able to take the mark. It is a slippery footy though. Rashudo from Shirley. Rashudo runs to 60. It cannons into the man who was standing in front of him. Eventually, Colbert kicks outside of the defensive 50 for the Kangaroos. Stevens out there, outnumbered. That's Stevens for the Kangaroos. Kicks over the line, and the umpire to toss it in about 60 metres around from the Adelaide goal. It's 46-44 to the difference.
Pushing some numbers back through the Kangaroos. Couple of players loose inside defensive 50, making it very difficult for the Crows to score.
Laidley shouting. Kangaroos coach. Simpson over the pack. Massey. Still with Massey. That was a good tackle in the end by Harvey. Just held things up, but in the end it's coming back.
Paid the advantage, then brought it back.
So Massey with the footy. And his side is 2 points in front. Carey was the target. Brown punching over the line. So it's a little closer now for Adelaide. Grant just coming across to Brown and saying, well done.
Just looked a bit faster today, the Kangaroos. Their foot speed over the ground seems to be far superior to that of the Crows.
Porter tumbles and then gets up again, works his way to the front. Did well under those circumstances. Harris, hand pass on, not good. Bode, got to get rid of it. To Burns on his backside, now to McLeod from about 55. They've still got a chance, Adelaide. They're making really heavy weather of it. Burton to Burns. He's outnumbered 2 or 3 to 1. Rawlings over the footy. That got really messy. There was just a bit of an opening there for Adelaide, but in the end, it was just difficult to get any clean ball there, Chris.
Yeah, Daniel Harris throwing the ball away. You called it, Mark. Got to take the ball to ground in that contest, not give the Crows an opportunity to score.
Umpire throwing it up in the right forward pocket, so still a goal-scoring opportunity for Adelaide over the line, and Grant just happy to wander over the line with the footy in his hands, and the umpire to throw it in now in that right forward pocket for Adelaide, with just over 10.5 minutes remaining until the final break. Now, there was a bit of pushing off the footy. You saw a player, it was Makepeace, who was pushed over off the footy. He's going to take the free kick. He's deep in his defensive zone. He decides to play on to Stevens. He takes a bounce. Now he's confronted by Carey. Gets it to Brown, so they're on the way out. This is Makepeace. Just puts the foot on the accelerator and works his way from half-back. Nicely downfield, but the kick is ill-directed. And the mark is taken by Massey, who changes direction to Burton. Had to wait. Well, they were lucky there. Rashudo to Burton, so here's a chance. Now Begley running. Those 3 running hard. Begley to Clark, who was stationary. Out wide. Burton accelerates, gets caught, got caught, magnificent by the Kangaroos. They deserve a goal here. Smart should wrap up. Smart at half-back. So Adelaide, gee, that was lucky, wasn't it? Smart ducked ahead at the opportune time. Petrie was the man who came at him. Close to the boundary line. McGregor knocks it on and Adelaide out of trouble, but for how long?
Kangaroos' commitment is exemplary. They are chasing every single ball down at the moment, putting the Crows under enormous pressure. It's alive for Harris. One-handed handball is picked up by the umpire, all in one movement. Harris gathered and fisted it off in the one movement. Let's have another look at this tackling attempt, if you could call it that, from Drew Petrie. Clark has it on centre wing, and the closing speed of Daniel Wells to lay that smother on Burton moments ago, quite extraordinary. Rawlings taken down by McLeod. Porter released Harris. Kicks down the boundary line. Rashudo and Massey. Crows with the numbers if it stays in. It doesn't. We'll have a throw in, but the Kangaroos have really come to play this afternoon. They are chasing down every single contest.
Daniel Wells, as you said, was 5 or 6 contests he was involved in. Was fantastic work in the discipline of their forward line to try and hold the ball in the area. Far superior commitment at the footy at the moment. The Kangaroos Crows with a lot of work to do.
Motlop at the front, only as far as Bickley. Confronted by Harris, gave it up to Grant. Now to Petrie. Tumbles a kick inside 50. Wells lurking at the back, doesn't get that far. Safe hands from Begley. Handball to Tawney, didn't do him any favours because he had absolutely nothing to kick to. Harvey and King. If Harvey can gather, he can go over the top to King. That's what he does. Bode will arrive late. And King has it 55 metres out. This wasn't the time to play on. In the defensive goal square.
Important kick this one from David King. Does he go to the top of the square? Does he try and kick the barrel goal? Kangaroos with not too many crummers inside 50.
Rocker now leads. We saw a lead from Petrie at the top of the square moments ago. Told by the umpire to move it on. So King wants to take Bode on. He kicks right to the line. It's almost there. It was a great effort in the end from David King. Matthew Bode was a wake-up to it on the mark and forced him wide. In the end, off hands and through from behind.
Matthew Bode did it extremely well. Knew David King was going to try and sell the pup and get around on the outside. One of his signature moves. Some good work from Matty Bode. Ball just falling short.
So a point the difference. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Rashudo again with the kicking in duties. Goes to the outer side. Motlop will arrive late. Did well. Picked it off. He's got it now inside 50. Look out, Grant. Here comes Burton. Flips it over to Wells. Now Harris. He's taken down by Bode. Shirley in there. Petrie over the top. And the comeback. And the free kick will go to Shirley. Defensive goal square again. They want to play on. This time they have got some numbers. Begley has got Massey in some space. Well-weighted kick finds him back to the wing. He's got Bode running inside. Elects to go himself. Kicks towards half forward. John Cock there. Stevens went early. There was a push going the way of the Kangaroos. So from half back, it's with Michael Stevens. Short to Clayton. Down the line towards Grant, under pressure.
Great kick.
In good hands. Didn't panic. Had Bickley right on his shoulder. Keeps it alive for the Roos. Momentarily. Is that kick somewhere on a par with Daniel Motlop's about 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, not great, but at least it keeps it inside 50. I guess, fortuitously enough, they still have an opportunity to kick a goal. Kangaroos with all the play. You've got to wonder where the lift from the Crows is going to come.
42,295 is the crowd here at Amy Stadium. Tawney just needed to keep his head and did. The Bickley, the former skipper, he's got a man running. It's Bode. And Bode runs through the lines from half-back, looking for Carey. Well done by Brown, knocked it away from the King. And now the King's got to chase. Harvey gets there first. The King being very careful over the top of Harvey. He's got 3 to beat. Welsh comes into assist.
Oh.
Harvey can't quite pick up. Well done, Welsh, though. Well done by Welsh. Kicks inside 50, looking for target downfield. Has he found that man? No, he hasn't. It was Perry. He knocked it away only as far as Colbert, though. He gets it to King. King accelerates away. They're running through the middle now. They've got a chance. And this is Big Porter. Needs to be precise, isn't? He wasn't.
It's killed them all day, hasn't it? Their inability to finish around the ground or at goal.
2-on-1, 2. That was the only spot he couldn't kick it.
Clark goes out wide. John Cock through his hands. Now he's got some problems. Jones, John Cock did well. Stevens. Now to Smart. He's got to get rid of it quickly because Clayton's coming at him. Smart goes inside 50. Almost Perry at the back. He was 4 back. Still with Perry. Makepeace against the flow. Now he's got some time. He's got some space. Runs away from Goodwin. Sends looking for and almost finding Simpson. Clark was in the general vicinity. They've got a chance here, the Kangaroos. Kick to the boundary by Colbert. It's over the line. So it's right on the wing. And there is just 1 point the difference. Adelaide lead 46-45 with 5.5 minutes remaining until the last quarter. What a crucial last quarter for Adelaide in 2003. Rashudo, who's had 27 disposals, 17 kicks and 10 hand passes. Rawlings Couple of hand passes, that's not bad. Montlock. Now the Kangaroos with a chance. Well inside 50, looking for Rocker. Had 2 bites at it. Well done by Clayton. Just tried to get away. Begley had him, held him up. 35 metres from goal.
It was a great crumb there from Jeremy Clayton. But again, a great tackle from James Begley. That says a lot. That one, doesn't it? I mean, the way they've attacked the footy, the ball and the body.
Especially when you consider possessions at dead level at 195 apiece. So they've had 50% of the ball each. And the Kangaroos have laid double the tackles. That just shows how they've chased everything down. Shirley, desperate on that occasion, went off the ground. King did the same. Chance for the Crows now. Begley. Shepherd laid on King by Bickley. Beckley's kick tumbled wide. Perry can gather. Look up. A couple of minutes and a half forward. Goodwin just chipped it in front of Stevens to take the mark. We go towards Welsh at full forward. Watt, well-timed fist. At ground level, Colbert stumbling after it. It's socket off the deck. And out of bounds about 10 metres around from the Adelaide goal. Just over 4 minutes remaining until the final change. And what a scrap we've had all afternoon. For a game that's only seen 12 goals kicked, it's been most entertaining. Porter. Off the pack, taken by Archer. High kick towards the centre of the ground. Massey in good position, takes the mark. Wants to play on. Bumps it back inside 50. Some marking power there for Adelaide. At ground level, Porter got an important hand in there. Slapped it to the advantage of Grant. Welsh almost ran him down, but Grant got it to the line just outside the 50. And we'll have a throw in.
An important player this quarter, Shannon Grant. Only 7 touches in the first half. Now up to 15, having a real influence on this game in the third quarter.
Well, the rain has eased in this third term, making conditions a little easier, but the scoring's actually tightened up. Bickley from inside 50, screws it back to the goal square. It's still alive. At ground level, Makepeace goes to ground. Colbert through the Goodwin tackle. Grant gets away from Bode, flips it over Welsh and finds Makepeace. Chance now for the Roos from half back. Looks up, hasn't got a lot to kick to. So he goes short and finds Rawlings.
Up from the back pocket, Rawlings for the Kangaroos. Andrew McLeod standing the mark. Coming up for his 17th disposal. Rawlings from half-back, down to wing. Clayton was there. Through the hands of Porter, close to the boundary line. Jones gained 25 metres. It all worked out okay as far as the Kangaroos are concerned, as Porter has come off with a big ruckman for the Kangaroos.
Crunch time. David Hale on with the rucking duties. The Kangaroos been very good at the clearances. Big responsibility for the young fella.
1 point the difference. Adelaide 46, the Kangaroos 45. Free kick Adelaide. Over the shoulder the call. Now they'll work it thanks to Biglands. Goodwin just up a little early. Makepeace, left puts it. He's found a man. It's Hale. 1 point the difference. Puts everything into the kick to within about 45 metres. Well done, Tawney. Got a fist to it. Clayton runs onto it. John Cox got him. Oh, Burton tried to kick it away. Free kick Kangaroos. Gee whiz. Well, this is important now. Inside 50 goes the kick. There's a loose man. It's Rocker. And Rocker's got it. And he's 35 metres from goal and the angle's not a problem.
Yeah, in conditions like today, when every opportunity counts, you can't afford to give away undisciplined free kicks. Kangaroos have been guilty of that in the first half.
Had to get rid
Graham
of
Johncock at this stage. Maybe a bit stiff. The ball flipped out in the tackle. A little overzealous with the rest of the tackle. Kangaroos have a big shot at goal.
So Jeremy Clayton kicks to Rocker, and Rocker now with an opportunity to put the Kangaroos in front by 5 points with 1:40 to go until the final break. Here goes Rocker. There's his kick. It's swinging around to the left-hand side. What's the umpire doing? He is going to indicate a goal.
You know, I reckon you can tell it's the most powerful ute they've ever made just by looking at it.
Yeah.
I think we should take them for a run on the Salt Lake.
The new 260 kilowatt Falcon Ute. It's unbelievably powerful.
2 goals, 3 to Severio Rocker this afternoon. Been a very good performance up forward, presented himself well since quarter time.
Very defensively minded, the Crows at the centre bounce, something you don't often see. Very much one-on-one.
So Petrie doing the centre bounce work against Biglands. Spills to Harvey. Steps around Burton. Chips towards half forward. It was a beautiful kick, and it found Jones. Just over a minute remaining. Jones has got a man inside 50. Clayton, he flips it over the top. Harvey runs on, 30 metres out. Clayton alone in the square, lets it go through. The Roos have got 2 in a minute.
How's it going, Bob?
Good, Steve.
Mate, you wouldn't have a decent 13mm spanner, would you?
Yeah, I got one of them.
Why borrow when there's bargains like a UHF CB radio, only 49 bucks, save 20. A 50Ps air tool kit, only 139 bucks. Superfit sheepskin seat covers, only $59 a front pair. And a jumbo toolbox, just $49, save 35 bucks.
I'll go down to Super Cheap and pick one up.
You get the feeling the Kangaroos have come into this game with nothing to lose. They're steeling themselves as their grand final at the moment. Adelaide may be playing like a side which is getting a touch nervous.
Yeah, they look tired, Adelaide. No run, no fluency, not taking risks. Certainly hurting them.
11 the difference. The Kangaroos, the visitors, the underdogs are in front, and they're doing it well. 57-46, right on a minute to go until the last break. It's untidy footy. And if they can hold them here, the Kangaroos, they will go into the three-quarter time break.
Big stat, that one. The Kangaroos up 8-3. Normally a strength of Adelaide. Great result for the Kangaroos.
And if they can hold them here, the Kangaroos, they'll lead by 11 points with a quarter to play. High kick. Biglands, Clayton. So another opportunity perhaps here for the Kangaroos. Clayton gets up, hand passes backwards to Jones. And he has got a chance here as Jones goes long and low inside 50 for the Kangaroos. Rocker storming up the ground. Smart close to the boundary, over. 16 seconds remaining. And Adelaide have to hold here. They've got to hold the Kangaroos. 57-46, 11 the difference, 17 seconds remaining. And Rocker has 2 goals, 3 to his name. Hale and Biglands, 14 seconds remaining until the last break. And the umpire to throw the footy up inside the 50, within goal-scoring range for the Kangaroos. 2 seconds. 1. Siren should sound and does. So at three-quarter time, Adelaide have a huge job in front of them. The Kangaroos lead 7-15-57. Adelaide 7-4-46. That margin, 11 points in favour of the visitors.
3 goals, 3 in that term to the Kangaroos. Just 1 goal to Adelaide. But the Roos have led at three-quarter time the last 2 weeks and lost.
Sunday is the day to see 8 of the biggest personalities yet sing for their lives. So, who's got what it takes? Will South Australia's Guy Sebastian show them how it's done? The Idol episodes you can't miss, Sunday and Monday.
How's it going, Bob?
Good, Steve.
Mate, you wouldn't have a decent 13mm spanner, would you?
Yeah, I got one of them.
Why borrow when there's bargains like a UHF CB radio, only 49 bucks, save 20. A 50Ps air tool kit, only 139 bucks. Superfit sheepskin seat covers, only $59 a front pair. And a jumbo toolbox, just $49, save 35 bucks.
I'll go down to Super Cheap and pick one up.
Would you like a home loan that gives you the power to win? What about a home loan that gives you the power to pay off your debt faster? Visit a Power Home Finance store to find out the benefits of the Power Loan. The Power Loan is ideal for debt consolidation, investment properties and portfolios, accessing additional funds, and purchasing a new property. Drop into a Power Home Finance stall at Westfield TTP or Marion, or phone 82327977 to find out how a Power Loan can help you.
supremacy. The devilishly delicious Widowmaker goes up against the devastating vapors of raging.
The less that happens to the oil in your engine, the better it protects. Which is why, together with Ferrari, Shell developed Helix. Even in the white heat of racing, Helix stays calm. And if Shell can protect a Ferrari, who better to protect your car?
So what'd your boots set you back?
About 80 bucks.
Could have bought new ones for that.
Been paid out lately? Keno, with over 400 payouts per hour, you could win it by the minute.
What do you cook when the king's expected for dinner?
Right, Elvis. Come in, big fella.
Okay. 7 o'clock Monday, you're about to find out.
Kind of one of the best burgers you're ever going to have.
The new series you've been craving for. Oliver's Twist, 7 o'clock Monday.
King, one of the great goals of the year from Wayne Carey, but his side has got plenty of work to do in this final term. The Kangaroos have been outstanding. They're 7-15-57. Adelaide 7-4-46. Just one goal in the third term to Adelaide. Their lowest scoring quarter for the season. Carey and Perry have 2 apiece for the Crows. Sav Rocker has 2 for the Kangaroos. But as we mentioned, Chris, this one's still very, very tightly poised as we head down to Troy Gray with Tim Harrington.
Tim, not the best start for the Kangaroos, but since quarter time he's been dominant.
Well, we've dominated around the stoppage, we think. We've been great at ground level, but we just haven't capitalised when we've got the ball in front of our goals. We've obviously shot ourselves in the foot with our goal kicking, but we've got the ball a bit closer to goals at quarters, so we had easier shots, so we converted a bit better.
Must be really encouraging, though, from a coaching point of view to know that you've had twice as many scoring shots as the Crows.
Well, we reckon we've done the right things as far as doing the grunt work, getting the ball, but we just haven't finished off very well, and probably a couple of serial offenders there that we've spoken to, and they made amends that quarter. Hopefully we can go in the last.
No finals, but still a lot to play for, pride.
Oh, heaps. We're really hoping to finish off the year strongly.
All the best. Thank you.
You do get the feeling the Kangaroos are playing this one as their grand final, Chris, but as we mentioned before the break, they've led at three-quarter time the last 2 weeks against Fremantle and Hawthorn and fallen over in the last quarter both times. I'm sure that was mentioned at three-quarter time in the Roo huddle.
Yeah, and they played a very physically demanding game today, tackling, chasing, putting a lot of pressure on the Crows, so that may pay dividends. 15 scoring shots to 5 in the last 2 quarters has been the telling tale.
One other crucial game of round 21 action, Essendon and Fremantle at the Telstra Dome. Replay scheduled on various networks, so if you don't want to know the score, look away now. What a quarter of football coming up for the Adelaide Crows. They trail by 11 points as we start the final term at Amy Stadium. McLeod in over the top of it. Plenty of players around this one. And we will have a secondary bounce.
Mark Porter been a fantastic player for the Kangaroos today, starting this last quarter on the bench. Now David Hale being the preferred option, or Drew Petrie in the ruck for the first centre bounce.
Plenty of players around this one again. Bode on his hands and knees, tries to farm it out of the mud. Harris in there as well. That's a pretty good old-fashioned footy right there. Caked in mud. And Petrie, the last man up, gives the football back. So the third bounce. Try and clear this congestion. Bode over the top of it. Massey. Motlock riding him. Motlock then gets his hands on the football. And we'll go again. An amazing record for the Kangaroos. They've lost 3 in a row up until today. They have not lost 4 in a row in the one season since 1992. That was prior to Dennis Pagan arriving at the club. That's what they're protecting today, and they're doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. King spears a torpedo from 75 out and hits Sav Rocker on the chest. Well, they've steeled themselves for this contest, the Kangaroos. And Severio Rocker the opportunity to give them a 17-point break, a minute and a half into the final term. He's been super, Sav Rocker.
Certainly has presented himself fantastically well. David King has tried that kick on numerous occasions today. The barrel on the run. Tough in these conditions. He hit that one beautifully. Saverio Rocker read it. Now he's got to finish. Big kick for the Kangaroos. Good forwards kick these goals. That is entrusted to Sav on this occasion.
2 goals, 3 to Sav this afternoon. Hits the post from point-blank range. Their third poster for the afternoon. Bit of tension in the Kangaroos box now as well. The margin an even 2 goals as Mark Prosciutto brings the ball back into play.
Long kick, good distance, and a fine mark to Clark. That was a beauty.
Crowd is trying to lift the Crows at the moment.
58-46. Clark gets on with it in a hurry, kicks it downfield. Colbert wasn't able to take the mark. Spillage important here.
Great take.
Well done by the Kangaroos getting it forward, only as far as Smart though, who kicks it inside 50. A goal scoring opportunity. Stevens storming into the back pocket now for the Kangaroos. Did very well under those circumstances. He was being attacked left, right and centre. And the crowd saying deliberate, and it was. Well, it took a long time, the umpire, to make that adjudication, and the Kings got it. Wayne Carey, who kicked one of the goals of the year earlier on in this game. Here's Burton now. Burton swinging from 30 metres. Oh, what's he done with this? He's kicked a beauty. He's kicked a ripper. Yes, he has.
Get ready for your chance to unlock the vault at Sky City Adelaide. Join Sky City's action program in August or use your card for your chance to win a share in 30 grand cash.
So Adelaide's first goal in more than a quarter of football. We've gone 3.5 minutes. And a 2-goal swing. Savrocker misses at one end. Burton converts at the other, and suddenly it's back to a kick the difference. They try to get back with courage. Is this the spark Adelaide needed? They dodged the bullet when Savrocker missed one at the other end. Simpson. Handball looking to King. King will go again. Ducks under the Clark tackle. Emerges with a football. Another spiral inside 50. John Cock got an important hand on it. Clayton was lurking. Picked up by Smart. Only as far as Prosciutto. He takes the mark. Daniel Motlop down inside the forward 50 for the Kangaroos struggling. McLeod to Burton. Goes off the ground only as far as Michael Stevens, and he takes the mark. So Stevens will hold it up. Look for the right option to present itself. He goes short and retain possession by giving it to Lee Colbert. Mark Porter back on for David Hale for the Roos.
Daniel Motlop, no good either, wants to stay on the ground, but the trainer is trying to encourage him to come off.
Colbert across the wing. No one flew for the Kangaroos, but Bode couldn't bring it down. Rawlings throws it on the boot quickly. Will bounce towards 50. Corey Jones is the man in the mask. Perry in the defensive half takes it to the line as we head down to Troy Gray.
Well, just a bit more on the man in the mask, and that's Corey Jones. You do notice that he's got plenty of strapping around his head. He suffered a nasty gash to his chin at the end of that third quarter and had to have some bandages applied to stem the flow, but he's fine.
Not so much a mask as sort of like a lifesaver's cap, I suppose. Perry and Motlop. Motlop gathers. Clean hands to Clayton. Twisting and turning. Steps inside McLeod. Jeremy Clayton. And just sneaks it in for a behind. His first score for the afternoon. We've got a thriller at Amy Stadium. It's the Crows trailing by 7 points. We've played almost 6 minutes. Final term.
Prosciutto to Shirley. Outside the defensive 50 now. This is Begley, who came in for Tyson Edwards. Massey. Now Bode. Steps around the would-be tackler and then sends it out wide. He was looking for Smart, but getting a hand on it there was Makepeace. An important hand. And it trickles over the line. 59-52.
Been good this afternoon, Troy Makepeace. Been very good today. Done some great work. Uses the ball so well too in the back half. Had a very good afternoon.
So Adelaide about 85 from goal at the moment. Porter and Clark. Clark double-fisted to Makepeace, who, as Chris said, has had a very good afternoon of footy for the Kangaroos. It looks as though it's out of bounds on the full. And it is. And Adelaide will bring it back. Prosciutto to Begley. 7 the difference. A goal and a bit. And Begley's got a man running. It was Massey. Too far for him, though. Inside 50. Chance for Stevens for the Kangaroos. Out it comes again. Now it's 2-on-1 here with the Kangaroos with the numbers. Clayton did well. Slipped over, but then got up again. Motlop slipped over and is taking a while to get up. Umpire says play it on. They come away with it, Adelaide. Burton, short pass. Door perhaps slightly ajar for them. This is Massey. 65 metres from goal. Kicks to a more central location. But they give it up. And Stevens marks about 35 metres from this defensive goal, gives it to Grant.
So good afternoon, Michael Stevens. Up to a career best 13 possessions. Shannon Grant to the wing, Petrie the target. John Cock ground level. Oh, great gathers. Great tackle from Clayton, ran him down from behind but didn't infringe. Massey to Bode, it's still alive for the Crows. Now it's Clark. Gallops towards 50 and puts it out of bounds on the full. So Jeremy Clayton's just got up a little bit sore after that lunging tackle. It was a fine effort.
Got some sore bodies, the Kangaroos. Daniel Motlop, Jeremy Clayton, both limping at the moment.
Wonderful record here at Amy Stadium. As we mentioned, a terrible record in final terms, something they're looking to arrest this afternoon. Stevens goes long, Porter the target, off his hands to Petrie. Couldn't get boot to ball before he was taken down by McGregor. Jones to Harvey. Rawlings has pushed forward to the play. McLeod will arrive as well. Rocker, clean bounce. Perry got a piece of him. Rocker got the hands free, gave it to Simpson. McLeod just did enough to prevent Rawlings getting clean hands on the football. Grant slides in, Rawlings goes again. Perry wrapped it up. In the end, a break-even was a good result for the Crows, 35 metres out from the Kangaroo goal.
It was a good result. Pressure time of the game, ball handling is so important. Just got to slow yourself down, make sure you take possession. Every ball you go for now is critical.
Prosciutto won the clearance, tumbles it long towards the wing. Begley leads King in the race for it. Tries to hold him off it. Takes possession now. King grabs him. Ball's still alive. King now picks it up. Harris thought about the handball, somehow reeled it in, and then went inside 50. Clayton almost will get a free kick. Dragged down in the marking contest. Great presence of mind from Harris. The ball had almost left his hand before he reeled it back in.
Talk about ball handling. Daniel Harris with fantastic ball off the deck and the foot skill to boot. Now with the new stand here at Amy Stadium, this is not a difficult kick anymore. Used to be very hard to miss pocket. The grandstand does block out a lot of the breeze. Clayton, not a big kick, but this is certainly a kickable goal. Got to drill it straight.
He's kicked 1-1 in his career. This is his 4th game. He's come off the rookie list this season. The youngster from North Ballarat. It's straight. Has it got the carry? Not quite. The Adelaide Crows go back and fist it through for a behind. 42,259 fans hold their breath. The margin now 8 points. We've played 10 minutes in the final term.
Prosciutto straight down the middle, gets very good distance with it through Perry's hands. Goodwin quickly off. Did well, gets it into the middle. Chance for Archer though, so they will be back again. Here's Makepeace, who's having a good game to Clayton. Did well. Here's King running to 60, now to 50. Lines them up. It's offline to the left-hand side. Big build-up for the Kangaroos. But King misses. It's a behind.
4 behinds to David King, 1 in each quarter.
Yeah, again, kickable goal. The Kangaroos still look too good at ground level and on ball. The Crows, Goodwin, McLeod, particularly Latham, they're key on ball, as apart from Mark Prosciutto, unable to get themselves into this game.
Can you believe it? 26 scoring shots to 12 in favour of the Roos. They only lead by 9 points. Simpson, possession 24 for him. Will go inside 50. Petrie the target, good hands. While he was expecting the contact to come from Massey, it never came. And Petrie will kick from just outside the 50.
It was a big catch too. Had he not taken it, Crows had some numbers at ground level. Found himself up against Chris Massey. So the matchup was good. Great contested mark in these conditions. And again, a kickable goal. Just needs to make contact.
Kick 1 in the 3rd term. Receiving some advice from David King, who's kicked 4 behinds. Hope he ignored it. It'll be do as I say, not as I do, I'm sure. Here's Petrie from 55 out. Sinks the boot into it. And in going for distance has tugged it left. Right to the line. And another behind to the Kangaroos. What a frustrating day at the office for Dean Laidley. His side's played so well on one hand, but on the other hand, the had 27 scoring shots to 12, and they still only lead by 10 points. Plenty of football left in this one, more than 11 minutes of game time.
Rashudo goes short. And he's got Perry, who's in the back pocket. And he takes his time and concentrates and then kicks outside the defensive 50 to a very busy area. One of the targets out there is Massey. Harris gives it up. Rashudo kicks over the pack, down toward the wing and a fraction beyond. Archer working hard with his body. Colbert at the back, looking to give off, gives it to Archer. So they're in the van again here. Archer gets it nicely to King. And King now changes direction. Clayton or Simpson, take your pick. Simpson's got it. Clayton runs for him. Simpson goes short. Clayton's got it now on the bounce. So they're working it forward and sideways. Now into the corridor to centre half forward, looking for almost finding Harvey. Couldn't quite take it. Well done by Bickley. Porter got him. Chance now for Petrie. Petrie's kick 2 or 3 at the back row for Adelaide. Well done. A bit of pushing and shoving off the ball as Shirley works it out to the wing. Rawlings has got it. Gets it to King. They're in the van again here, the Kangaroos. They're attacking relentlessly. Inside 50. Rocker at the back. A chance now for Clayton. This is Jeremy Clayton. And Jeremy Clayton's kicked the goal for the Kangas.
When we first spoke on the phone, she was warm, friendly, she laughed at my jokes. It was a beautiful thing. We got along like a house on fire until...
Until what?
Until the house caught on fire. And I rang her to make an insurance claim. Hello, Trust? Whatever happened to trust? Trust, trust, trust.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Thirteen and a half minutes gone, final term. The margin now out to 16 points. Jeremy Clayton kicks a goal. Porter gets it out of the middle again. The Roos are rolling. Grant. Can Adelaide hold the momentum? It's the biggest 10 minutes of their season. Makepeace receives from Harvey. Goes to Jones. And he marks. 25 metres out. 45-degree angle. These are the goals they haven't kicked all afternoon.
No, and he's got to kick it to right. They've missed 13 odd shots at goal that could have quite easily blown this game apart. Once again, the Kangaroos dominant out of the centre square. They've thrashed Adelaide in that department today. And again, the Crows' defensive half looking totally disorganised. Ian Perry spent some time there, come from the ground. They really appear to be missing Nathan Bassett. His form back there this year's been pretty good. He's as solid as a rock. The matchups don't look right for the Crows. Corey Jones now entrusted with the opportunity to put the Kangaroos further in front. As we've said before, not the most accurate kick for goal. There comes a time in the career where you've just got to nail the kick. This is one of those times.
Taking plenty of time. The umpire just resetting the mark and telling him to move it on. He kicks this, it's out to 22 points. And the Crows would need to start coming up with something pretty special. Jones on its way. It's straight. He guides it through. The Roos have got another one.
Network 10 and Harvey Norman are proud to bring you widescreen weekends. Don't miss this weekend's AFL action on Network 10 in widescreen. If you're watching standard television, this is all you'll see. If you have a digital widescreen television, you can see so much more of the game. See your Harvey Norman store for details about widescreen weekends. More action, more AFL, more excitement.
Kangaroos by 22. Let's head down to Troy Gray.
Crows will have their job or their work cut out for them because Ian Perry has left the field in the hand of the doctor and the physio, has problems with his back and won't take any further part in the game.
Porter and Clark and Simpson, who's upended. Begley running with the pack. He's got the footy now. Had a fair look at Amy Stadium then. Clayton's got him, and that's Jeremy Clayton, who kicked a beautiful goal about 4 minutes ago.
Been a long time since the Crows have been so comprehensively beaten in the centre square.
Busy area, and it's in the attacking zone for the Kangaroos, but not for long. Ball kicked back into the middle over the head of Rashudo. That looked a bit high. Umpire says play it on. Stevens was the player who appeared to get a high tackle. Harris out wide, only as far as Smart. Now here's a chance for Adelaide. Well inside 50. Carey down there, so too Welsh. Overrunning it was Makepeace. In the end, Rawlings gets it to Clayton. And Clayton goes for a run and then decides to hand pass. This will be interesting. Begley did well on Simpson. They turn it over, so they burn the footy. Now Stengline's got some problems because Jeremy Clayton's tackling him strongly. Johncock, high kick, 2-on-1. Adelaide with the advantage here. Massey's got a man running. It's Clark, and Clark from about 75 metres looking for Carey perhaps or Stevens, but cut out magnificently by Watt. And Watt plays on and goes to the far side. Good kick outside the defensive 50. Colbert, Carey running, but Colbert kicks beautifully to Harris. 22 is the margin, 74-52. Harris's kick, he's popped that up. And Begley marks 45 metres from his defensive goal, and he will head outside of that defensive circle and look for a target out on the wing.
Time now, the enemy of the Crows. They need 4 goals in 7.5 minutes to protect that berth in the top 4. Smart tumbles it inside 50. They need a mark through the hands of Archer. Watt had one arm grabbed by Stevens, couldn't get rid of it.
Free kick.
Archer taken high by Stevens. And the Kangaroo champion will go back and settle things down. Here's the hand over the shoulder. Shane Clayton has it. 15 metres out from the Adelaide goal. Goes looking for Colbert and hits him on the chest. So 42,259 fans stunned. It's an eerie silence here at Amy Stadium at the moment.
Kangaroos got to be careful though. They've played a certain style all day, and while they want to protect the ball and try and maintain possession, they don't want to drop momentum at the moment.
Such a crucial game for the Crows. They've got Adelaide, Port Adelaide rather, in the showdown next week. As we saw at the start of the day, the ladder so even, all the way down to Essendon in 8th spot.
Well, it really hurts them a loss today, especially here at home. This is a game they would have chalked up as a win. The problem with the Crows, they've no spark on the ball. Centre breaks have been thrashed. Their midfield has been very ordinary today. Arguably the second best in the competition, but certainly not producing today, apart from the captain, who's been the shining light.
Petrie third man up, Rashudo in there again. King got boots the ball quickly. Chance for Smart. He's dragged off it by Petrie. Harris emerges from the congestion, but can't beat the umpire's whistle. They have a bounce out of wing.
Need some intelligent leadership here now, the Crows. If they're going to win this game, they've got to keep it open, blow the game apart. Can't afford to let it get congested in packs like this. This is playing into the Kangaroos' hands.
Petrie lying on top of the football. King just in slow motion all of a sudden. And a throw in. Sting is fading from this game fast. Adelaide don't look like giving a final yelp at the moment. They've got just under 6 minutes to come up with something special. Ronnie Burns is going to come back on to see what he can manufacture. Stevens off. Clark the tap, down to Goodwin. Stengline and Harvey. Michael Stevens in there working hard. What a game he's had this afternoon. Archer ripped off it by Rashudo. Harris caught one high. Harvey again. Goodwin there by his side. This suits the Kangaroos to a T. It's taken to the line one more time.
Certainly does. Kangaroos in no hurry. Brent Harvey's been very good in the second half after being extremely quiet in the first. Kangaroos have really spread it around. Had workhorses all over the ground, people contributing on every line.
Shane Clayton coming off. Petrie and Porter put it down into the path of Simpson. Sockers off the ground. Bickley hanging off his shoulder. And taken to the line again. And this crowd just cannot get involved in this game again unless Adelaide kick a quick goal.
No spark from the crowd, no spark from the team. And again, the Kangaroos dominant in their tackles.
Except for that last quarter, which shows that they have been working hard, the Adelaide Crows. It just hasn't been going their way. We see another tackle here, but the Kangaroos in this final term have been getting first hands on the football. Adelaide just can't get anything started.
No, I really like Mark Porter's work today. I think he's been very good. And Daniel Harris at ground level, along with Simpson, King, is very good.
Time the enemy now for Adelaide, that is for sure. As Grant will be the last one to get up. Looks like Bode over the top of him. 22 points is the lead to the Kangaroos.
The unheralded job today, Brady Rawlings. 22 touches himself, held out Andrew McLeod to only 12. Had a fantastic impact on this game. Quite unobtrusive, but has been a very important player in the centre team.
Crows fans disappointed with this as they work it inside 50. Thanks to a kick from Goodwin. Now Ronnie Burns, left foot snap. Maybe this is the spark they need. That's a beautiful goal from Burns.
Shopping for timber flooring? Discount City Carpets presents the new release of Kendall laminated timber flooring at a very special low introductory price of $29.95 a square metre. Kendall timber flooring has got everything the others haven't. Scratch resistant, stain resistant, impact resistant, and stands up to wear and tear. Pass the test? Don't miss out on this great introductory offer, $29.95 a square metre. That's a $20 a square metre saving. Discount City Carpets, superstores and super warehouse.
So the lead is 16. It was 22. It's now 16. It's 9:20 to 9:4. And McLeod working it out down toward left half forward. A chance here for Adelaide again. Bickley grabbed high. Umpire says yes, sirree. So Bickley from 75 metres. Carey's in the goal square. And Bickley keen to get on with it. In a hurry, as you can imagine. He goes to Carey. It comes up short. Simpson marks in that forward pocket to repel that attack by Adelaide. And we've got bang on 4 minutes remaining.
Simpson will hold it up for the Kangaroos. We spoke, Adelaide needed a goal to get the crowd involved again. They now need to bang on a couple in a hurry. Simpson. McGregor off hands to Rashuto. Through the hands of Goodwin, just a costly fumble. Rashuto goes back and wins it again. Now to McGregor. To Bode. Will pump it inside 50. Need a mark. Burton lurking at the front. It spills to the back. Archer steps inside. A little slap from Ronnie Burns. Only as far as Bickley. So again, Adelaide will load up inside 50. Need to find a target. Grant read it off the boot magnificently. Begley was the target.
Just panic. Got plenty of time, Adelaide. Just needed to show some patience. Mark Bickley had a quiet day. Shannon Grant, the interception, pivotal in the context of the game. Kangaroos back with possession and time to burn.
And burn it, Shannon Grant does. Inside 3 minutes. The frustration now for Adelaide fans. Got a wonderful record at home. Having said that, the Kangaroos have got a wonderful record here as well. Ball up centre wing. The Adelaide Crows have won their last 6 here by an average of more than 6 goals and have won 19 of their last 24. But few have been more important than this one. Harris. Kick ricocheted off Goodwin. He went back and got the football to Bode. Harris in on top of him again. And it's some of these unsung heroes for the Kangaroos have really stood up today. Porter's been great. Dumped that time. Fierce tackle from Begley. Towards half forward for the Roos. John Cock and Wells. Wells happy to see it to the line. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Adelaide now need a miracle. 3 goals is what they need. And the top 4 spot in a home final could be riding on that. Porter slaps it down. Jones will run onto it. He's 40 metres out on the boundary line. Squares it up. Kangaroos with numbers through the hands of Clayton to Rocker. Steps around. Handball back to Clayton. Missed the target. It's still alive. He twists. He turns. On the left. Not quite. Rocker there again. Jones. Johncock. McGregor in there. Handball to Tawney. Now a chance for Adelaide. Smarts away from half-back. Goes towards Carey. Couple to beat. Brown got hands on it. Carey dragged down. Free kick Adelaide. Advantage play. Begley. They've got some numbers. Handball missed. Burton was costly. He's run down by Watt. Begley goes again. And the ball finds the line. A minute and a half remaining.
Free kick to the throw just for hanging on against Begley. Watt after doing all the hard work, just held on too long.
High ball inside 50. At ground level, Bode. Grant over the top of him. Carey ducks his head. Can't get the arms free. We'll have a bounce 45 metres out from the Adelaide goal. Just over a minute remaining.
God, I'd love the Kangaroos work at ground level. Led by Daniel Harris. Fantastic game. Far superior with the ball on the deck today.
McGregor the tap. Colbert sharks it. Kicks it wide. Wells and Begley. Begley did well. Flipped it back to the voice of Welsh. Just gets away from the lunging Wells. Will go to the top of the goal square. Bickley will set himself. Almost. Spills to the back for Carey. Off the ground goal! They couldn't, could they?
you can tell it's the most powerful ute they've ever made just by looking at them.
Yeah.
I think we should take them for a run on the Salt Lake.
The new 260 kilowatt Falcon ute. It's unbelievably powerful.
So let's set the scene. There's 10 points the difference, and there's 36 seconds remaining, and Harris has got the footy, and Bode's got him. Harris gets it to Simpson. 28 seconds remaining. That looks in the back against Smart. Umpire doesn't agree, says play it on. Simpson with the footy tries to work it forward. Umpire says Kangaroos free kick. 22 seconds remaining now, and the Kangaroos in front by 10 points. 74-64.
I think that contest said it all. Daniel Harris, Adam Simpson at ground level. They've been there all day, been the workhorses for the Kangaroos. They've been the players to get their hands on it first, getting in front of their Adelaide counterparts. An area of dominance for the Kangaroos, and this kid has had a pretty good afternoon.
17 seconds, 16, 15 seconds remaining, and that will be it. As Harris goes downfield to King, this has been an outstanding win here by the Kangaroos. There'll be deathly silence, you would think, although there are some Kangaroo supporters here. Listen to this. Some Kangaroo supporters, their coach and the box are elated. And what a sensational victory by the Kangaroos here at Amy Stadium. 9-20-74 the Kangaroos, Adelaide 10-4, 64. So while the Kangaroos celebrate, Adelaide have some problems now, Chris, as far as that top 4 position is concerned.
Oh, they certainly do. That has thrown them right in amongst the pack. The possibility maybe they might finish 8th, I think, and not the result they were looking for. They needed to rebound after last week's loss against Collingwood. Everybody thought they would. It was hard to make a case for the Kangaroos today. No Jess Sinclair, no Stevens. Mark Rasciuto's form was fantastic. The captain certainly flew the flag, but he had no help today. David King, the leadership group of the Kangaroos, far superior. They deserved their win, and they probably deserve to win by a lot more.
Well, the Kangaroos are famous for a club that can win when their backs are against the wall, when everybody writes them off. No one was expecting this afternoon over here in Adelaide. Adam Simpson, magnificent with 29 possessions. Here he is with Troy Gray.
29 possessions, fantastic effort. The boys did jovial. How does it feel?
It feels great, especially after losing a couple of close ones in the last month. So important we won that last quarter, and to the boys' credit, we did that.
Is it frustrating to know that you're capable of playing such good football, even away at home at a place like Amy Stadium?
Yeah, look, we think we've travelled pretty well to Amy Stadium. We lost the last couple, but we had a lot of self-confidence today. So look, we've got a lot of young players, and it's going to take a few years to develop, but you never know.
Obviously no finals this year, but there must be so much to look forward to, because that was quite inspirational considering you were underdogs today.
Yeah, look, I think the weather helped us as well. So, I mean, they had a lot to play for, and it was just a sensational win.
Congratulations, all the best.
Nice.
Wonderful performance from the Kangaroos. And if ever you were going to face a side, Chris, that had their backs to the wall and you desperately needed to win the game, you just wouldn't want to play the Kangaroos, would you? They are just such a proud combination, the boys from Arden Street. They've had a very, very frustrating 5 or 6 weeks. Lost 4 of their last 5 games. A couple they really could have won against St Kilda and Fremantle to end their finals chances. Could have turned up today and gone through the motions, but this was their grand final.
They absolutely thrive on us against them mentality. No team does it better. They had no right to come here and win this game of football. The Crows, with everything to play for, near full strength, the dream team forward line back in, a little bit of rain, maybe might have evened it up a fraction, but the Crows can play well in wet weather footy. But just far superior. Great for Sav Rocker, had a real influence on the game after quarter time. But Simpson, Harris, King at ground level, Shannon Grant, so dominant. And Dean Laidley, who was doing it tough early, plenty of reason to smile.
They really did control the game from the opening 10 minutes of the contest, and they'll sing this with gusto. Great win for the Kangaroos.
If you want a home final, you have to earn it. And the battle for the top 4 is hot. Next, live on 10, the Swans and Magpies shoot it out in a tight countdown to September. Sydney take on Collingwood. Next, live on 10. Here's the winner of this week's Vote for Your Favourite AFL Player competition. They win a Sony Ericsson T68i mobile phone from Telstra. Stay tuned to 10 to find out how to enter this week's favourite AFL Player competition.
That's the big one, but Adelaide's Big 2 are bringing you the big one at Radio Rentals and Homeco with heaps of $1 bonus deals in every department. Like buy this Kelvinator 410-litre 2-door frost-free fridge and get 2 dinner sets worth $80 for just $1. Or buy this 3-piece lounge suite and get bonus fabric protection worth $159 for just $1. It's the big one at Radio Rentals and Homeco. Now that's twice as big.
The less that happens to the oil in your engine, the better it protects. Which is why, together with Ferrari, Shell developed Helix. Even in the white heat of racing, Helix stays calm. And if Shell can protect a Ferrari, who better to protect your car?
At Truscott Hi-Fi, walk through here and into their clearance centre for up to 40% off. TVs, hi-fi components, speakers, hi-fi systems, DVD players, VCRs and more. Up to 40% off. Truscott Hi-Fi City. Open Sunday 11 till 5.
Look on you, fantastic furniture, fantastic package. You get a lounge, twin recliners, an extended table and 4 chairs plus bonus fabric protection. 8 pieces, $19.99. All with no deposit, interest-free terms. Look on you.
He didn't. He did not. Oh no, that's awful. Where? Ouch. All over you like a rash, aren't they? Until you phone and tell him you've had a car accident, right? Insurance. Who can you trust?
Exactly.
What?
Always look on the bright side of life. Vote for your favourite AFL player and you could win a mobile phone from Telstra or a home entertainment package. SMS the full name of your favourite player to 0428 774 304. There's a weekly prize of a Sony Ericsson T68i mobile phone, which is capable of sending and receiving pictures valued at $900. Or the major prize, an entertainment package valued at over $20,000. Keep watching 10 to see if you've won. And who is this week's top AFL player? SMS now. Want an Aussie exclusive? Need Rose.
It's just a fact, baby.
Performing 2 songs, Powder Finger Live. Plus, double the Aussie supermodel, Megan Gale and Sarah O'Hare. A Big Rose Live, 9:30 Tuesday.
1, 2, 3. Well, why don't you come with me, little girl?
You're watching the Ford 5th quarter.
So the Kangaroos, another famous victory in this wonderfully proud club. Backs against the wall, and they've done it again this afternoon. The Kangaroos, 9 goals, 20-74. Defeat the Adelaide Crows, 10-4, 64, 29... Wayne Carey finished with 3 goals, 2 to Perry, 2 to Burton, 2 to Severio Rocker, and a great day up forward for the big man in difficult conditions. The Kangaroos, well, they had some wonderful midfielders. Simpson, Harris and King all racked up plenty of football. Mark Rasciuto was brilliant for the Adelaide Crows. Well, the Kangaroos leaders, they lead from the front today, Chris, their senior corps. They had a couple of big names out in Anthony Stevens and Jess Sinclair, but it was also their younger players, some of their lesser lights who really stood up and carried the can this afternoon.
I thought Daniel Harris was fantastic. We spoke a lot about him in the call, but just the way he put his body over the ball was brilliant. A great leader, great led by example.
And one of those men was Michael Stevens, the younger brother of Anthony. He joins us down in the winners' rooms. Michael, congratulations on your career-high 14 possessions.
Michael, you've been sensational. A big smile on your face, a career-high 14 possessions.
You started your career here with Port Adelaide. Must be great to come back to AAMI Stadium and dominate.
Yeah, look, it was good to get back to Adelaide and play on me. I suppose it's my home ground. It has been for the last 4 years, and I know the ground pretty well, so I just wanted to do my job, and hopefully I've done it. So.
Well, you don't make it to AFL level without having some talent. It's great that you can finally showcase all the skills you've got and hopefully cement a side in this great Kangaroos outfit.
I'd love to cement a spot, but I think I've got a long way to go. I was just happy to get a game this week. There's a few out, so I just went out there to do my job, and hopefully, I've done that in the end. So.
Michael, 14 possessions for you, an all-time career high, as Troy mentioned. The fact that you were coming in for a big game, and it was against the Adelaide Crows, given your family history against them, was that a little bit of added incentive this afternoon?
Look, I don't think so. That's dead and gone now, so I just wanted to play well because, I just want to keep a spot on the list for next year. So, yeah, that was most of the incentive.
Michael, they talk about the Crows midfield #1 in the competition and #1 at clearances, but you destroyed them in that department today.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Can you just turn it up a bit?
Your work in the midfield, especially at the centre clearances today, was fantastic.
Yeah, I think the boys were fantastic, and I think the Crows are probably the best in the league in centre clearances, so that was our main focus before the game to just beat them in that. So I don't know if we beat them or not, but I think they've done pretty well.
40-29 you beat them, and out of the middle 11-4, which was just an extraordinary performance to beat the Adelaide Crows at their own game, Michael. But tell us about your own year at Arden Street. You've come across from Port Adelaide and taken a little bit of time to settle in, I guess. Tell us about your year alongside your older brother.
Yeah, look, I had a bit of a setback early on. I was out for about 8 weeks with a knee, and it took me a while to get back into the swing of things. And I've been playing a few good games in the VFL, and got a chance this week, and hopefully get a game next week too.
Michael, such an enormous game for the club. You missed the finals this time around, but really got the feeling up here that you were steeling yourself as if today was a grand final for the club. Was that the way you guys approached it?
I think we've lost 3 in a row now, and we really didn't want to lose 4. So, and coming over here, and we always want to beat the Crows on their home turf, and it's just a great win.
Wonderful performance. Congratulations to the team and to you personally.
Thanks a lot.
Michael Stevens down in the winners' rooms. We mentioned that proud record. They haven't lost 4 in a row since 1992. Would you believe that's the 12th time since then that they've lost 3 on the trot, but have never gone on to lose 4? So they've defended it again today. They're a great club.
You tell me, I believe it. And as you said, back to the wall, there is no better team in the competition.
Well, one other game of round 21 action on this afternoon at the Telstra Dome in Melbourne. Another massive game in the context of the top 8. Essendon hosting Fremantle. Replay scheduled on various networks. So if you don't want to know the score, look away now. So it's the Roos home at AAMI Stadium by 10 points. Let's return to the winners' rooms. Troy Gray with Shannon Grant.
Thanks, guys. Shannon, that song was sung with much gusto. You were a pretty excited bunch down here.
Yeah, I don't think it's been sung like that all year, but, it's always great coming over here, Adelaide, and being to knock them off as well.
Well, it's a great sign for all Kangaroo supporters that you're able to show such determination. You didn't start off that well, but after quarter time, we're dominant.
Yeah, well, that just shows how much character these guys have got. They didn't lie down all day, and, we couldn't make the finals, but, we could have quite easily packed it up and put the cure in the rack, but to the guys' credit, they didn't, and they just kept coming all day.
Realistically, you played one of the top teams in the competition, and you've had twice as many scoring shots. Had you kicked straight, it could have been an annihilation.
Yes, well, we didn't kick straight, but, you got to give a little bit away for the conditions, so... Unfortunately, we didn't win by as much as we would have liked, but win's even better as well.
And finish off the season well, the last couple of games, and then look forward to next year, but still plenty to play for. Pride next week, and then, of course, the future of the club.
Yeah, well, we made sure, having lost last week, that we should come out and win the last 2 games, and we've won one of them, and hopefully we'll be able to beat Carlton next week.
Thanks, Shannon. All the best, buddy.
So Shannon Grant there finishing with 19 possessions. Well, we showed you the look-away score from the Essendon Fremantle game. Obviously, we know the result of this one. So we're now going to show you the look-away ladder as of right now. So if you don't want to know where the ladder sits, look away now. So it was Adelaide Crows by 14 points at quarter time, Chris, by 4 points at half time. largely through the inaccuracy of the Kangaroos. Now, the game was delicately balanced. Could the Roos go on and dominate, or would the Crows' class come out in the second half and deliver? Weren't sure which way it was going to go, but the Kangaroos just kept on keeping on in the second half.
Look, they were fantastic. You had the feeling they left the door open for the Crows to sneak in if they were good enough, but they weren't. They were snuffed out all day. Only had Mark Rashudo on the ball that had any real dominance, and to the Kangaroos' credit, they got better and better as the game went on. And had they taken the most of their opportunities, they would have won by, well, half a dozen goals.
To take a look back, the highlights of the second half, that brilliant goal from Wayne Carey. One of the real few highlights for Adelaide fans today. They just never seem to get out of second gear, did they?
And you thought that was the spark for them. They were looking for a spark. The big goal from Carey, was it enough to ignite them? The answer was no. Kangaroos went down, kicked a pretty quick goal, and never looked back.
Such a brilliant, balanced team performance today from the Kangaroos. Every single player contributed in some way, shape or form. Mark Porter on the ruck was outstanding. We mentioned Harris. Simpson was brilliant all afternoon. David King led from the front. Rawlings, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, look, very even spread. Their back half was extremely good, although not put under a lot of pressure. Brady Rawlings was the one I really liked. His job on Andrew McLeod and getting some footy himself was very impressive.
Andrew McLeod finished with 13 possessions. There's another youngster, Jeremy Clayton. He bobbed up. He did his bit as well. They just had so many contributors. They can fly home to Melbourne tonight, all very proud of their efforts, whereas the Adelaide Crows left too much to too few.
Oh, they certainly did. They looked really flat, the Crows. Couldn't run over the ground, and the Kangaroos dominant at ground level all afternoon.
We mentioned the clearances when we were talking to Michael Stevens. That is Adelaide's game. They are the #1 side in the competition at that area of the game, and you look down there, second from the bottom, 41 to 28 the clearances, and hardball gets, how's this for a stat, against the Adelaide Crows, 41 to 17 in favour of the Roos. They just wanted it more all afternoon.
Look, it's happened to the Crows a couple of times this year. We refer back to the St Kilda game earlier. Their midfield got thrashed and they got beaten convincingly. That happened again today. Kangaroos too strong at the contested footy and too good at ground level.
It's just so hard to predict season 2003. Just when you think you might have it sussed out where everyone's going to finish, a curly one comes up like this afternoon. There's still plenty more great action in round 21. We don't even worry about round 22 yet. That's too much to think about. Let's just look at tonight's games to start off with. Brisbane taking on Geelong at the Gabba. The Cats have been rejuvenated in the last month.
They certainly have. You would expect Brisbane, if they're going to be a contender, to stand up and win that game well, but Geelong are travelling okay.
And what a game. Sydney versus Collingwood at Telstra Stadium. I guess the positive out of this for Adelaide is that one of these sides has to lose.
Well, that's right. You think someone's got to lose, but a massive game in front of what will be an enormous crowd at Telstra Stadium.
West Coast and Melbourne at Subiaco. Richmond and Port Adelaide at the Telstra Dome. And St Kilda facing the Bulldogs at York Park in Launceston. So in front of 42,259 fans, the Kangaroos just stuck at it all day. They had 29 scoring shots to 14, an amazing statistic. They wouldn't be denied this afternoon. And in the end, they ran out winners over the Adelaide Crows. Chris, thanks for your company. It was a most enjoyable game of footy.
It was a great game of footy and well done to the Kangaroos.
And thanks for your company as well. That wraps it up from Amy Stadium. A red letter day for the Kangaroos.
The AFL Premiership Season 2003, brought to you by Carlton, brewed since 1864, and our telecast sponsors Carlton Draft, draft beer at its best. Ford New Falcon, can't get enough of this. Discount City Carpet Superstores. Truscott Hi-Fi, best advice, low price. Booze Brothers. Sky City Adelaide, the place to see footy on the big screen. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. RAA Insurance and Harvey Norman.
On 10's new hit show, how do you know it's the right time? You called him. Well, he says, you've got a fish on the hook. What are you waiting for?
That's right, mate. There's only so long a flathead will flop around on a jetty before it carks it. This time, it's about self-control.
And she says,
maybe he just doesn't find me attractive. Because he's gay.
Over 1 million Australians agree it's TV's most refreshing new drama. Crash Burn, 8:30 Monday.
There's one place you can get all the AFL finals.
AFL Premiership Season 2003, brought to you by Carlton, brewed since 1864. And our telecast sponsors, Carlton Draft, draft beer at its best. Ford, New Falcon, can't get enough of this. Discount City Carpet Superstores, Truscott Hi-Fi, best advice, low price. Booms Brothers, Sky City Adelaide, the place to see the footy on the big screen. RAA Insurance, and Big Pond, amazing broadband.
Hello and welcome to Saturday Night Football. It's almost 3 years since this stadium hosted Kathy Freeman's Golden Night. Will that moment ever be matched? Probably not, but that's not to say this stadium can't host other epic events. Tonight, hopefully, is one of those nights when Sydney battles Collingwood, and the prize for the winner is an absolutely massive one, second spot on the AFL ladder. So join us as we bring you one of the biggest games in season 2003.
In this place, legends are made. In this place, greatness is a regular visitor. Drawn to its legend, seduced by its lights, people come in their thousands to see games like tonight's, whose consequence demand such a stage. For 20 weeks, Collingwood and Sydney have toiled. They've won, lost, busted guts to be here, within touching distance of a prize so treasured. A prize which justifies days spent dreaming. The Swans, everyone's pre-season ugly duckling, the great surprise packet.